Chapter 1154. Right now, the head elder of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan was caught in a dilemma. Although Red Oriole and Wei Yuyin were unable to kill him and completely destroy his physical body, he was unable to escape. At this moment, he was trapped in an endless blood-colored illusion. Although he could break the illusions quickly, new illusions would appear immediately. He could not free himself from them. Finally, he was faced with an illusion about the third prince of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan. He could not bear to break the illusion for a while. Great-grandfather, look, I only spent a month to improve from the first divinity stage to the second divinity stage. Isn't that awesome? Great-grandfather, one day I will become the god of war of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan. I will protect you and the Monstrous clan. No one will be a match for me. With my talent, it is possible for me to surpass you in the future, isn't it? Recalling the third prince's past, the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous race's great elders' eyes turned moist. Now that he thought about it, he realized that he had indeed been too indulgent towards the third prince in the past. Furthermore, he had created the impression that he was invincible. Indeed, the third prince's talent in martial arts was excellent. He was one of the best in the entire Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan. If nothing unexpected happened, he would definitely become a great expert in the future. However, the third prince was too arrogant. There is no such thing as an invincible expert in this world. I have spoiled you too much. I have spoiled you so much that you have lost your respect for martial arts. At this moment of despair, the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan's great elder realized that he was wrong. In fact, he had always known that the third prince's death was his own doing. However, as the third prince's great-grandfather, he could not possibly watch with folded arms. Revenge for his grandson was his only thought. But now, it seemed that he could not even do that. Fine. Let's self-detonate. The head elder of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan was finally disheartened. He knew that even if he did not self-detonate, he would not be able to leave Red Oriole's small world. When Red Oriole met up with the Blood Demon clan and the Blood Demon clan came to the small world, he would be dead for sure. Red Oriole could not kill him, but it did not mean that the experts of the Blood Demon clan could not kill him. After all, Red Oriole was just a junior of the Blood Demon clan. In the Blood Demon clan, there were too many existences stronger than Red Oriole. Therefore, the head elder of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon clan could not even deal with Red Oriole and had even fallen into a trap. Therefore, he had a deeper understanding of the capabilities of the Blood Demon clan. However, even if he were to die, he would not let Princess Blood Demon have an easy time. As this final thought flashed through his mind, within Red Oriole's miniature world, a burst of golden light exploded from within the blood-red color, instantly splitting the blood-red color into two. Red Oriole's small world suffered great damage in an instant. The innate mystique fruit of the Blood Realm's fantasy boundary was suddenly split into two. Red Oriole also spat out a mouthful of blood. Due to the destruction of the Blood Boundary Divine Ability Fruit, she was also severely injured. Fortunately, the destruction caused by the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan's great elder's self-destruction was limited to the Blood Boundary Divine Ability Fruit. If Red Oriole hadn't covered the Blood Boundary Divine Ability Fruit with the Blood Boundary Divine Ability Fruit, the self-destruction of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon clan's great elder would have destroyed more than half of her miniature world and seriously injured her. Right now, the destruction of only one Blood Boundary Divine Ability Fruit was still bearable for Red Oriole. However, as a result, Red Oriole's combat ability had dropped by at least half, and it would be very difficult for her to recover. If her physical body had been damaged, she could have recovered very quickly by taking some relatively good healing pills. But now, the Blood Boundary Divine Ability Fruit had been damaged, and it would be very difficult for her to recover completely. She would have to rest for a long time. By Red Oriole's estimation, she would need at least 3 years to fully recover from such serious injuries. But this is still an acceptable result. Fortunately, Long Yu is fine and the head elder of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon clan has been killed. Things should be much easier to deal with now, Red Oriole thought to herself. Finally, a heavy burden had been lifted off her shoulders. Hey girl, didn't you say that as long as I joined forces with you to deal with this person, you would let me go? The wretched old man Wei Yin glanced at Red Oriole and chuckled. Young people should keep their words. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of crazy things this old man will do. I did say that, but I didn't say when I would let you go. Red Oriole glanced at him and narrowed her eyes. Stay here quietly for now. It's not safe outside. When I reach a safe place, I will naturally let you go. My cousin and the others should be arriving soon. At that time, I will let you out. You. The wretched old man Wei Yuyin's eyes widened. You're playing with me. When did I play with you? I will definitely let you go. If you stay here, I will be afraid of dirtying my miniature world. Behave yourself and don't mess around. Otherwise, don't even think of leaving. Red Oriole said. Right now, she was really a little worried that this old man would mess around in her miniature world. Now that she was seriously injured, if the other party went crazy, she might not be able to restrain him. Okay. You're good. I won't talk to you anymore. That's it. I will give you 3 days. After 3 days, if you don't let me go, don't blame me for being rude. Humph, I have a good temper. Otherwise, I would have fallen out with you a long time ago. The wretched old man Wei Yuyin snorted and then walked away leisurely. This attitude was completely different from when he was imprisoned by Red Oriole. It was completely because Red Oriole was seriously injured, and it was difficult to suppress him. Of course, Wei Yin still did not want to fight to the death with her, so he did not act up for now. 3 days? 3 days should be enough. Red Oriole thought to herself, but she was not confident. If the space-time imprint teleportation array on Planet Bayou was closed, it would take a long time for Shuel Luo and the others to rush over from the Blood Demon Galaxy. No one knew if they could make it in time. Now that Long Yu has not asked me to go out, it seems that the teleportation array on Planet Bayou has been closed. Red Oriole deduced the situation and then began to treat her injuries alone in the miniature world. If she left the miniature world now, she would not have any combat strength. She could only suppress her injuries first so that the Blood Mirror Illusion Realm Divine Ability Fruit would not damage her even more. Inside her small world, blood red and golden lights were mixed together. It was a complete mess. In the process of tidying up, she found the world imprint of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon clan's Great Elder. This could be said to be the biggest harvest of this battle. In the Golden Flood Dragon clan's Grand Elder's miniature world, there must be a lot of good stuff, enough to make up for Red Oriole's loss. This was the majority of a sovereign expert's wealth. Even if it was used to repair the damage to her small world, it would be more than enough. Right now, her main injury was the innate divine ability fruit of the Blood Realm's illusion world. No one knew why innate mystiques would appear. They would blossom and bear fruit in the cultivator's body, but once they were damaged, it would be extremely difficult to recover. In Long Yu's netherworld realm, the Dead Star Whirlpool was in such a situation. There is absolutely nothing that could repair it, and it could only wait for time to pass before it slowly recovered. As for Long Yu's Dead Star Whirlpool, it was too badly damaged. Therefore, as time passed, the situation became worse and worse. The whole netherworld realm was basically unable to recover to its original state. Long Yu transformed into nothingness as he flew through the void. It was at this moment that he received a message from Red Oriole. The great elder of the Golden Flood Dragon monstrous race blew himself up. Not bad, not bad. It's just that Red Oriole's losses were too great this time. Luckily, she was inside her small world, which was suppressed by the power of the world. Otherwise, her small world might have suffered the same fate as the netherworld realm. Long Yu slightly heaved a sigh of relief. Previously, his netherworld realm had become like this after a great ruler, Ji Yuan Dao Yi, self-detonated. Now, Red Oriole's small world had almost followed in his footsteps. 2 hours have passed. The energy in my body is almost depleted. This place is 1,000 kilometers away from the surface of planet White Feather. I should be able to rest for a while. Long Yu didn't sense anyone chasing after him at all. Therefore, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. His main body appeared in the void. Not far behind him was a white planet. It was planet White Feather. Looking down from here, the overall environment of planet White Feather was very beautiful. It was a pity that Long Yu had no time to appreciate it. Brother Long, take a good rest. I'll give you a martial arts secret technique to form a deduction barrier. Red Oriole's message came again. Then, an invisible barrier appeared around Long Yu's body, shielding him from the power of deduction. This was a secret technique of the Blood Demon race. Red Oriole had already cultivated it to the 7th level, and its effects were quite remarkable. Only after the formation of the deduction barrier did the two of them truly heave a sigh of relief. Big Brother Shualuo is rushing over. However, the space-time imprint teleportation array on planet White Feather has been shut down. I'm afraid it will take at least a few days for them to arrive. Red Oriole said to Long Yu, be it the Golden Flood Dragon Demon race or the White Feather Demon race, they will definitely pay the price for this. Now that you're so heavily injured, you'd better take a good rest. Leave the matters for the next few days to me. Long Yu said solemnly, in a few days, I'm afraid they will still be able to catch up. We can't be careless. Okay. Red Oriole felt warm in her heart. Although she was still in her small world and hadn't seen Long Yu, she could imagine Long Yu's determined face. I really didn't expect that when we're really in danger, this kid can still be of great help. Chapter 1155. While Long Yu and Red Oriole were hiding in the void outside the White Feather planet, there was another change on the planet. The Golden Flood Dragon demonic races, 7 Sovereign Realm experts, and more than 30 Higher Realm Sovereign Realm experts finally managed to eliminate the 12 blood-colored guards after 4 hours. It was an arduous task. However, the 12 blood-colored guards were puppets that the Blood Demon race had spent a great deal of effort to refine. The death of these 12 guards was a disastrous loss for the Blood Demon race. Of course, the one who suffered the most was Princess Blood Demon Red Oriole. The first elder was about to self-destruct. It could be said that both races had suffered heavy losses. After killing the 12 blood-colored guards, the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan sovereigns all stopped and gathered together. Then, they saw the 4 White Feather Monstrous Clans sovereigns returning from different directions. How is it? You can't catch up with that, brat? The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's head Butler asked the White Feather Monstrous Clan's clan chief. The complexion of the White Feather Monstrous Clan's patriarch was extremely unsightly. The 4 of them were grand sovereigns, yet they were unable to catch up to a 5-star emperor. This was simply inexcusable, although it is very shameful. The truth is that we really haven't caught up to him. No, it's not that we haven't caught up to him. It's that we haven't found him. We are simply unable to find any trace of that brat. I've already mobilized the White Feather Monstrous Clan's clansmen to search the entire White Feather planet. However, I'm afraid that we won't be able to find him anytime soon. The White Feather Monstrous Clan's patriarch said, however, don't worry, the space-time imprint teleportation formation on White Feather planet has already been closed. No matter what, he won't be able to escape. Not necessarily. The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's chief Butler had a gloomy expression. We must find them as soon as possible. What about the power of deduction? Can't we use it? Turn off the deduction forbidden rune formation on planet Bayou. This, if the deduction forbidden formation is turned off, the range of influence will be too large. The White-Feathered Monstrous Clan's clan chief felt somewhat awkward. Is there anything more important than stopping the princess of the Blood Demon clan from escaping? The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's chief steward's face hardened. Think clearly for me. Now, it's not just a question of whether or not they can escape, but also how long they can last. Do you think that the experts of the Blood Demon clan won't be able to find this place after the teleportation array is turned off? Dream on. The head steward of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous race still remembered the scene when he wanted to kill Long Yu and Red Oriole after Long Yu killed their third prince on the Iron Wall Galaxy's King Killer Star. The super expert of the Blood Demon clan, Shuel Luo, had arrived directly, leaving them with no chance to resist. Long Yu and Red Oriole had been rescued. How similar was the current situation to that time? The Golden Flood Dragon Beast clan's head, Butler, didn't want the same thing to happen twice. In that case, I'd better close the derivation Forbidden Formation. After pondering for a moment, the White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief felt that the White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief was right. If Princess Blood Demon were to escape, the Blood Monsters clan would view their White Feather Monsters clan as their enemy. That would be very bad. The main reason for that was because the White Feather Monsters clan was currently divided internally. Thus, the White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief truly did not wish to make any external enemies. Otherwise, it was very possible that the entire White Feather Monsters clan would be destroyed. That was not an impossibility. Because of that, even though the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan was only slightly stronger than their White Feather Monsters clan, he was still very obedient to the experts of the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan. It was all because the White Feathered Monsters clan was weak at the moment. Soon, the derivation Forbidden Formation was turned off at the request of the White Feathered Monsters clan's clan chief. The effects of the derivation Forbidden Formation had been removed from the entire White Feather planet. Finally, there was nothing that could stop the derivation power from spreading on the planet. The clan chief of the White Feathered Monsters clan had also called out the other great rulers of their clan. At the moment when the entire White Feathered Monsters clan was facing a crisis, those great rulers could be said to be at their beck and call. The reason for that was because they were also nervous and afraid that some accident would happen that would lead to the extinction of the White Feathered Monsters clan. In the history of the White Feather Monsters clan, there were many monstrous clans that had suddenly been wiped out without any warning. And now, the White Feathered Monsters clan had split apart. If the matter was not handled properly, it would be normal for the entire White Feathered Monsters clan to be wiped out. After all, there were a lot of monstrous cultivators that were eyeing their White Feathered Monsters clan's large piece of cake. The White Feathered Monsters clan had occupied a divine runic source. They would be able to obtain countless cultivation resources from it. It was only natural that they would be envious of them. And now that their clan had split apart, it was a time of crisis. As such, they could not be careless in the slightest. There were a total of 12 great rulers, over 20 upper rulers, as well as other middle rulers and lower rulers. In total, there were over 100 people. Their overall strength surpassed that of the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan's clan chief. However, before the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan's head butler, the White Feathered Monsters clan's clan chief remained humble. After all, there was still a disparity in strength between the two clans. Right now, with so many of us performing the derivation together, I refuse to believe that Brat will be able to escape from us, said the White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief hatefully. I've tried it just now. The Blood Feather Monsters clan's princess is most likely helping him in the derivation. After all, the Blood Feather Monsters clan's secret martial technique is quite powerful. However, we can conclude that he and the Blood Feather Monsters clan's clan chief are no longer on the White Feather planet, said the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan's chief steward with a sullen expression. Not on the White Feather planet? Then where could they be? The White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief was slightly surprised. Outside, the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan's chief steward pointed above his head and said in a deep voice, "They should have run to the void outside the White Feather planet. However, we are unable to deduce his exact location for now. The Blood Feather Monsters clan's secret technique is truly powerful. Who cares how powerful their secret technique is? With so many of us Ruler's Secret Realm experts performing the derivation together, I refuse to believe that we can't deduce their location," said the White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief coldly. "That's true. However, we must hurry." The Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan's chief steward's complexion wasn't good. "Our Grand Elder is still in the Blood Feather Monsters clan's small world. Now, It seems that the princess is still in the mood to help that human brat in the derivation. It seems like our Grand Elder situation isn't too good. If even their Grand Elder was killed in this operation, then the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's losses would be too great. It would be too great for them to accept. The third prince's death was already a huge blow to their Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan. Following that, 3 middle-level sovereigns and 7 lower-level sovereigns were actually killed by that human brat. Not only was it beyond everyone's expectations, it further increased the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's losses. If even their Grand Elder died, then even if they managed to kill the Blood Feather Monstrous Clan's princess, it wouldn't be worth it. To be honest, the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's chief steward was very unwilling to accept this outcome. He had originally opposed this operation. After all, they were going to deal with the Blood Feather Monstrous Clan's princess. Even if they succeeded, they would still end up with a huge enemy. However, the Grand Elder didn't care about anything and was determined to chase after them. He had no way to stop him. He didn't expect that not only would they not kill a single enemy, but so many of their own people would also die. Enough with the nonsense. Let's quickly deduce the situation. The aura left behind from their battle is still there. We can use it to deduce the situation. The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's chief steward said, over 100 sovereign secret realm experts from the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan and the White Feather Monstrous Clan began to deduce the situation regarding Long Yu and Red Oriole. However, right at that moment, 2 groups of demonic beasts flew toward them from the horizon. Wait, it's the Black Scale Monstrous Clan and the Golden Moon Monstrous Clan. The White Feather Monstrous Clan's chief's expression changed. He had no idea what the other party was doing. Aren't they chasing after the remnants of your White Feather Monstrous Clan? Just ignore them. The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan wasn't afraid of the 2 clans. In any case, they wouldn't provoke them. There was no enmity between the 2 clans. No one would make enemies out of other clans for no reason. I'm afraid that they're coming for us. The White Feather Monstrous Clan's chief's expression sank. The Black Cheelan Monstrous Clan's experts gave off an oppressive feeling. There was also a group of flickering golden lights that illuminated the horizon. Their auras were similar to the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's experts. They were the Golden Moon Monstrous Clan. There were over 1,000 experts from both clans. They descended in front of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan and the White Feather Monstrous Clan. I didn't expect the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan to come and join in the fun. This is good. One of the Black Cheelan Monstrous Clan's sovereigns stepped forward. He swept his gaze across the crowd and said with a smile, we've just deduced that the remnants of the White Feather Monstrous Clan, Qing Feng, have some connection with this place. However, we couldn't find them anywhere. Based on our deductions, they're most likely hiding in someone's small world. They're trying to escape from the White Feather Planet. Don't worry, I've already closed the time-space teleportation formation. The White Feather Monstrous Clan's chief said, that's strange. Could it be that some of you are harboring the remnants of Qing Feng and Tianlei's faction? The Black Cheelan Monstrous Clan's sovereign frowned. That can't be right. Qing Feng and Tianlei's remnants are no longer here. In the past 4 hours, were there any suspicious people who left the sovereign secret realm? I'm afraid there are indeed suspicious people. The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's chief steward said in a deep voice, isn't that human kid, Mountain Ghost? He's only a 5-star emperor, but he already has a small world. More importantly, he and the Blood Demon Princess chose to come to the White Feather Planet. Doesn't that mean something? I'm afraid they're the ones who secretly took the remnants of the White Feather Monstrous Clan away. That's right. I suddenly remembered. The slightly plump White Feather Monstrous Clan sovereign suddenly said. When Qing Feng escaped from the ancient ruins, he seemed to have said that he met a woman who might possess the White Feather Immortal Monster Clan's bloodline. That woman must be the Holy Emperor who came to the palace to test her bloodline. That's right. The White Feather Monstrous Clan's patriarch finally came to a realization. The Holy Emperor and the Blood Demon Princess were together. When a battle happened, they also hid in the human kid's small world. It seems like the remnants of Tianlei and Qingfeng's faction are also hiding in his small world. With this discovery, the alliance of the four clans was inevitable. Chapter 11:56. Blackscale Monsters Clan, Golden Moon Monsters Clan, Golden Flood Dragon Monsters Clan, and White Feather Monsters Clan. The four demonic races finally joined hands and began to search for traces of Long Yu and Red Oriole. The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous race's Great Elder was still in Red Oriole's pocket world. They had no choice but to find Red Oriole. Moreover, they had to avenge the third prince. Thus, they had to find and kill Long Yu. As for the Blackscale Monsters clan, due to the fact that Qingfeng and Tianlei were future troubles, they had to find and kill them. Otherwise, after Qingfeng had consumed their Blackscale Monsters clan's holy fruit and increased his martial talent, and on top of that, Qingfeng already possessed a grade 3 bloodline aptitude in the White Feather Monsters clan, his growth would definitely be extremely frightening. Just like the Blackscale Monster clan, the Golden Moon Monster clan also wanted to get rid of future troubles. On the other hand, they believed the words of the Blackscale Monster clan and thought that Ruo Kai Meng was killed by like Qingfeng from behind. Of course, they wanted to seek revenge from like Qingfeng. As for the White Feather Monsters clan, they originally did not want to get involved. However, as they had closed the space-time imprint and teleportation formation, they could only stand by and take care of Red Oriole and Long Yu. With the four races joining hands, there were over 300 experts from the Sovereign Secret Realm gathered in one place. With so many experts, they started their divination on Long Yu and Red Oriole at the same time. The enormous power of deduction directly reached the void outside the White Feather Monsters clan. However, it only managed to reach a height of 50 kilometers before it was cut off. What's going on? When he reached the void, he actually didn't leave any aura behind. This is impossible. I have never seen such a situation before. Could it be that the brat has some treasure that can erase his traces? This kind of treasure can only be found by luck. How can it be so easy to obtain? The group of people discussed among themselves. They knew that it would not do to waste time like this, so they had people leave Planet Bayou and go out into the void to search. As such, the main force of the operation would be the White Feather Monsters clan. After all, this was Planet White Feather. The White Feather Monsters clan had the most manpower. The Black Cheelin Monsters clan and the Golden Moon Monsters clan had only dispatched 2,000 to 3,000 people. As for the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan, they had dispatched less than 50 people. As for the White Feather Monsters clan, under the orders and rewards issued by their clan chief, over 10,000 White Feather Monsters clan monstrous cultivators left White Feather Planet to search for traces of Long Yu and Red Oriole. A grand search had begun. Furthermore, there was a barrier protecting the planet 100,000 miles away. The barrier also belonged to the White Feather Monsters clan. Without permission, other cultivators would definitely not be able to escape from the barrier. Therefore, the four demon clans were confident that they would be able to find Long Yu and Red Oriole no matter what. As long as the two boys were found before the experts of the Blood Demon clan arrived, everything would be settled. At this time, Long Yu was resting in the void thousands of miles away from Planet Bayou. Red Oriole was also resting. At this moment, Clear Breeze and Thunder sent Long Yu a message, asking him to summon them. They had something to say to Long Yu. Long Yu trusted like Cool Breeze and like Thunder, so he brought them out of the Netherworld realm. How is it? Long Yu asked. I have a bad feeling. It's as if a great crisis is coming. The bearded like Thunder frowned slightly. I have always been sensitive to crises. It must be a trait inherited from my lineage. When Clear Breeze enters the ruler's secret realm, he should be able to inherit this trait. Crisis. Long Yu thought of something. He pondered where the crisis would come from. Although we have the secret arts of the Blood Demon clan to shield us from detection, it is not safe to stay 10,000 miles away from Planet Bayou. As long as they send enough people out to search, they will be able to find us. Why don't we go directly to the outermost defensive barrier of the White Feather Planet? With my bloodline, I can directly pass through the defensive barrier. Although it will alarm the people of the White Feather Monster clan, they won't be able to target us if we escape," said Motionlay in a deep voice. That's true. Long nodded. Up until now, he had not felt any powerful divination force descend upon him. On one hand, it was because he did not leave behind any aura when he turned into nothingness. On the other hand, it was because he had used the Dragon Blood Sacred Diagram and used the Dragon Blood Sacred Wind Diagram to erase all traces of his existence. However, this place was too close to Planet Bayou. If the enemy launched a human wave attack to search for them, they could still find them. If they wanted to completely avoid the enemy's search, they had to run as far away as possible. Long Yu was worried that Planet Bayou, as one of the main cultivation planets of Chiming Galaxy, would have a defense barrier at the outermost layer. Just like the outermost layer of the King Killer planet, it would prevent any cultivators from passing through. Therefore, he had never thought of leaving. But now, if there was heavenly lightning that could bring them through the barrier, then there would be no problem. Of course, there is another possibility. Like Thunder said seriously, "I'm afraid they're already preparing near the defense barrier. As long as we appear, they will catch us all in one fell swoop." There is still a possibility. "How about it, little brother Long? Let's take a gamble." Long Yu narrowed his eyes and then nodded. In the current situation, if we stay here, we will be discovered sooner or later. But if we go to the defense barrier and try to leave, there may be a chance of survival. Of course, from the perspective of buying time, going to the defense barrier will definitely buy us more time, allowing the experts of the Blood Demon clan to rush over. Okay, haha, then let's take a gamble. Let's go. Like Thunder was, after all, a great Sovereign Realm expert. His speed was much faster than Long Yu. Therefore, Long Yu was directly transported by the power of the spatial divine characters to the defense barrier of Planet Bayou, which was 100,000 kilometers away. Even a Sovereign Realm expert wouldn't be able to teleport such a long distance in a single step. Hence, Long Yu continued to use the Dragon Blood Sacred Wind Diagram to erase all traces of their existence. Every time they arrived at a location, Long Yu would use the Dragon Blood Sacred Wind Diagram to erase all traces of their existence. In this way, they basically did not leave any traces, did not give any flaws, and quietly approached the defense barrier of Planet Bayou. It was also at this time that the 4 demon clans that had joined hands sent their people to search the void outside of Planet Bayou, launching a carpet search. Moreover, because Long Yu had more concealment methods, they would send many batches of people to search the same place to ensure that they did not miss anything. Just as like Thunder expected, the other party used the human wave tactic and soon searched to a place 10,000 kilometers away from Planet Bayou, which was the place where Long Yu was previously. If they had not left, they would have been found by now. After all, the other party had sent out too many people, and the number of people participating in the search was increasing. Because the 4 clans had joined hands, they issued a bounty on Planet Bayou. As long as they found Long Yu and Red Oriole, they could get 1 billion demon coins. In this way, the number of cultivators who came out to search for traces of Long Yu and Red Oriole suddenly increased by 100 times. How many cultivators were there on the entire Planet Bayou? At least 10 billion. Of course, to be able to search for Long Yu and Red Oriole, one had to at least reach the King Path Mystic Realm. In that case, there would be more than 10 million people on the entire Planet Bayou. Even if only 1/10 of the people came out to search, it was still 1 million people. The scene was grand and spectacular, and they began to search the void around Planet Bayou. The 4 great beast clans who had joined hands to issue a bounty did not expect others to find Long Yu and Red Oriole. However, in this way, the human wave tactic would be established, and it would greatly reduce the space that Long Yu and Red Oriole had to hide in. They must be rushing towards the protective barrier now. Only by leaving the protective barrier can they escape. Clan leader Bayou, I'll have to trouble you to take care of the protective barrier. The chief butler of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan said, "Don't worry, as long as Tianlei is with them, they will definitely try to break through the protective barrier. I've already sent people to guard there, and they will definitely not have a chance to escape. The clan leader of the White Feather Monstrous clan said viciously. That's good. The people of the Black Scale Monstrous clan and the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan also nodded in satisfaction. Under such a large search environment, Long Yu was forced to go to the protective barrier and try to leave it. Fortunately, the protective barrier on the periphery of Planet Bayou was still very large. Even if the other party had set up an ambush, they might not be able to find the location where Long Yu and the others were. The next time we teleport over, we will reach the protective barrier. Let's go through the protective barrier and escape directly. Don't hesitate. It will definitely take some time for them to find our location and rush over to surround us. Tianlei said to Long Yu. And please take us away, Senior Tianlei. After all, you have the deepest understanding of the divine rune of space. Long Yu nodded and said, Of course, we are all standing on the same boat now. If the boat capsizes, no one will survive. Tianlei said in a rather calm manner. Under Tianlei's lead, Long Yu finally took the last step and was teleported by the power of the divine rune of space to the protective barrier 100,000 kilometers away from Planet Bayou. A faint translucent barrier appeared before Long Yu and Mo Tianlei. Mo Tianlei did not hesitate in the slightest and directly unleashed the power of his White Feather Monstrous clan's bloodline to touch the defensive barrier. The protective barrier could be directly passed through as long as one had the bloodline. There was no need for others to activate it. This was the characteristic of the protective barrier, and it could not be changed. Therefore, at this moment, the protective barrier was directly opened by Tianlei. Go! Tianlei did not hesitate and directly teleported out of the protective barrier with the power of the divine rune of space with Long Yu. Chapter 11:57. Chime Galaxy, Planet White Feather. A shocking chase was taking place. Like a bolt of lightning, Long Yuha rushed out of the protective barrier of Planet White Feather and then crossed into the endless void. In this void, the nearest cultivation planet was at least a few billion miles away. If he wanted to cross it, it would take him several days, even if it was like a bolt of lightning. There was an endless void in the middle, and there was nothing in it. White Feather Planet could still be seen from afar, but the entire White Feather Planet had become quite small. Where do you think you're going? Just as Mo Tianlei teleported Long Yu away, there was a flash of spatial divine runes in front of them. A group of people from the White Feather Monstrous clan appeared in front of them. Yin Lioi, it's you? Mo Tianlei's expression changed slightly when he saw the group of people. He clearly recognized the leader of the group. He was also a great ruler called Yin Lioi. Long Yu, who was next to Mo Tianlei, glanced at Yin Lioi and found that he was a young man who looked rather delicate and handsome. His long hair reached his waist, which was rare among male cultivators. Yin Lioi smiled and said, It's me. I'm sorry, Senior Mo Tianlei. You can say that you're a traitor of our clan. Therefore, according to the rules of our clan, I have to stop you from escaping. This guy is the leader of the guards of the White Feather Monstrous clan who are ordered to guard the protective barrier. Mo Tianlei explained to Long Yu in a low voice. Then, he said to Yin Lioi loudly, You should know whether I'm a traitor or not. However, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't stand on the wrong side. I'm afraid the experts of the Blood Demon clan will arrive in a few hours. I'd like to see how you're going to explain this matter then. You don't have to worry about that, do you? Yin Lioi smiled leisurely and said, Anyway, I can't let you go now. I'm afraid you don't know that the ones who want to deal with you this time are the 4 great beast clans. Even if the experts of the Blood Demon clan come, they might still stand a chance. Do you understand? The 4 great Yao cultivator races. He had never imagined that the 4 demonic cultivator races would actually join forces. He had guessed that this was a possibility, but he had never imagined that it would actually come true. Senior Heavenly Thunder, is this person powerful? Long Yu wanted to leave this place first, so he glanced at Yin Lioi and asked Tianlei this question. He's stronger than me. Furthermore, this place is in the vicinity of the defensive barrier. He is able to borrow the power of the defensive barrier. Likely, even if all of my white feather monstrous clan's branch power were to come out, we would still not be able to break through his defense. It would appear that this is going to be troublesome. Cold sweat appeared on his forehead. He did not expect Yin Lioi to arrive so quickly. If he was further away from the barrier, he would be able to summon all the experts from his faction and kill Yin Lioi at all costs. But now, it was impossible, so there was no need to send the clansmen to their deaths. All right, you don't have to think about escaping anymore. The others will be here soon. In less than 2 hours, you will be surrounded by 10,000 people. I just need to hold you back here. Yun Lioi paced leisurely in the air, not far away. Behind him were close to 100 white, feather monstrous clan experts from the ruler's secret realm. They were all guarding the defensive barrier. Naturally, they were all elites, and every single one of them possessed incredible fighting prowess. This force was more than enough to stop Yin Lioi and Long Yu. Damn it, if Red Oriole wasn't injured, I could still try to break out of the encirclement. Unfortunately now, Long Yu clenched his teeth. He knew that there was no way for him to escape. As such, he could only think of a way to stall for more time. If I bring out the 9 underworld steel now, I might not be able to stop that guy. It's still not appropriate. I can't use it. Long Yu continued to think of a way to deal with this. The main reason was that he didn't understand the power of the barrier, so he didn't dare to act recklessly. If he wasn't near the barrier, he could directly use the 9 underworld steel to intimidate the other party and escape. Of course, there were hidden dangers in doing so. After all, Long Yu didn't have full control over the 9 underworld steel. If the other party attacked the 9 underworld steel, the situation would become much more troublesome. If that happened, the power of the 9 underworld steel would explode, and Long Yu might not be able to escape. Furthermore, he couldn't just leave the 9 underworld steel here. So, he couldn't use the 9 underworld steel now. How about this? Yun Lioi, let this little brother leave. What do you think? I'll stay here. Yun Lioi pondered for a moment, then said to Yun Lioi, "Aren't you making things difficult for me?" The corners of Yun Lioi's lips curled up. He said leisurely, "The 100,000 clans of the white feather monstrous clan that followed you are all in this kid's miniature world. How could I let him leave? There's no need to say anything more about the impossible. Forget it, Senior Tianlei. Even if I let all your clansmen out, he can't be sure that I've let all your clansmen out. He still won't let me leave." Long Yu shook his head and said to Yun Lioi. Yun Lioi thought about it and felt that it made sense. He sighed and shook his head. "That's true. Looks like we won't be able to leave. We're going to die here." At that moment, the power of the spatial divine text suddenly erupted from Yun Lioi's body. He grabbed Long Yu and tried to teleport away. "Haha, Senior Tianlei, do you think I didn't guard against you suddenly trying to escape?" Yun Lioi laughed heartily. With a wave of his hand, a spatial barrier suddenly appeared in the surroundings, forcefully blocking the thunderous spatial divine runes back into the surroundings. Hey! Yun Lioi's face changed. He didn't think that his sudden outburst would still be blocked by the other party. But right at this moment, Long Yu suddenly activated his innate mystique, the path of the 9 nether. Transforming into a pitch-black blade, he actually directly broke through the barrier that blocked off the space. The path of 9 underworlds is specifically used to break through spatial barriers like this. Senior Tianlei, let's go. Long Yu's lips curled up. This innate mystique of his was very useful, especially at a time like this. It shocked the other party. Yun Lioi had spent quite a bit of effort preparing the spatial barrier that could block out all spatial powers. But he didn't think that Long Yu would have the means to break through spatial barriers. While Yun Lioi's group was still in shock, Tian Lei seemed to have reacted a little faster than them. He once again activated the spatial divine characters, bringing Long Yu along with him as he flashed away. They finally escaped from the encirclement of Yun Lioi's group. Quick, chase after them. Lock onto their location. Yun Lioi ordered as he watched Yun Lioi and Long Yu disappear from his sight. Fortunately, the group of Sovereign Realm experts behind him weren't easy to deal with. How could they be weaklings if they were sent to guard a cultivation planet? In the next instant, 2 Sovereign Realm experts roared. We've locked onto their location. They're 100 miles away. Furthermore, we've already marked them with our innate mystique. No matter where they go, they won't be able to escape. Good. Let's chase after them and stop them. This time, we can't let them escape. Yun Lioi immediately used the spatial divine text to teleport away, appearing in the location his subordinates had marked. As expected, they saw Yun Lioi and Long Yu. Haha, it looks like you won't be able to escape no matter what. Spatial barrier activated. This time, Yun Lioi didn't give the two of them a chance to escape. He ordered his subordinates to activate spatial barriers as well, surrounding Long Yu and Yun Lioi. Long Yu and Yun Lioi's expressions finally changed. It would be extremely difficult for them to escape now. Senior Yun Lioi, we've already marked you. No matter where you go, you won't be able to escape. It's better for you to surrender obediently. The corner of Yun Lioi's mouth curled into a smile. However, it's a little strange. There's actually no mark on that brat. Did he use some method to hide it? He turned to look at Long Yu, and a hint of curiosity flashed in his eyes. Long Yu looked at Yun Lioi's expression and naturally ignored him. The reason why he wasn't marked was because he had cultivated to the 6th level of the Pure World Physique. With the existence of the Pure World Physique, all negative effects wouldn't be able to invade his body. Of course, that was if the other party wasn't strong enough. Now that Long Yu had the cultivation of a 5-star Emperor, coupled with the 6th level of the Pure World Physique, negative effects that weren't at the Sovereign Realm wouldn't be able to affect him. Senior Yun Lioi, you should return to my small world. I'll think of a way to deal with the situation here. Long Yu said to Yun Lioi in a low voice. What? Can you do it? Yun Lioi's expression changed slightly as he looked at Long Yu in confusion. With the current situation, could this brat, who was only a 5-star Emperor, be able to do it? Anyone in Yun Lioi's position would have the same question. Father, believe in Brother Long. I didn't believe that Brother Long could deal with the Bone Race, Remnant Clan, and the Black Scale Race's absolute Imperial Devil. However, he still dealt with them in the end. Although I don't know what method he used. I believe that if he used that method, you would be dragged into it. That's why Brother Long allowed you to enter the small world. A voice that sounded like a cool breeze rang in Yun Lioi's ears. When Yun Lioi heard that, his expression immediately sank. All right, since my son said so, I'll believe you this once. I hope you won't disappoint me. I can't guarantee that. Chapter 1158. The lightning bolt was sucked into the 9 nether world by Long Yu. Only Long Yu was left in the void, facing off against the other party. Including Yun Lioi, there were over 100 Sovereign Realm experts present. At this moment, all of them were shocked that Long Yu had actually allowed the heavenly lightning to return to the small world. Isn't that brat afraid that we'll kill him together? That's right, Captain Yun. Why don't we just kill that brat? That's not right. Since he dares to do this, he must have something up his sleeves. We can't act rashly. Let's wait for the others to arrive first. In the end, Yun Lioi restrained a restless crowd and ordered them not to make a move recklessly. After all, Long Yu's actions were too suspicious. There was a possibility that there was a trap waiting for them to jump into. Moreover, after witnessing Long Yu's ability to break through the spatial barrier, they had a very high opinion of Long Yu. There's something strange about that human brat. That was what everyone thought in their hearts. Long Yu swept his gaze over the people around him. He wasn't particularly anxious. If the other party wanted to make a move on him, they would have to remove the spatial barrier first before they could attack him. If the other party chose to remove the spatial barrier, there was a chance that he would be able to escape through the void. Even though the chances were slim, Long Yu didn't give up hope. He had been mentally preparing himself for the worst. Of course, he knew that it was useless. The other party's most likely plan was to wait for the others to arrive before setting up a bigger spatial barrier to prevent him from escaping. Then, they would remove the spatial barrier inside the barrier. That way, they would be able to deal with Huang Xiaolong easily. Long Yu carefully observed his surroundings to ensure that he would be able to detect the movements of the others. Due to the existence of the Sovereign Secret Realm, Long Yu was able to sense the movements of the surrounding Sovereign Secret Realm experts. The 100-plus Sovereign Realm experts, led by Yun Lioi, did not make a move recklessly. Instead, they spread out to surround Longyu, sealing off all possible escape routes. After about an incense stick's worth of time, a large group of people suddenly appeared from the direction of Planet Bayou. At least 1,000 people had been teleported over through the divine rune of space and were approaching. Among the group of over 1,000 people, Longyu had already sensed 4 different auras, which came from 4 different demon cultivator races. The Black Scale Monsters Clan, the Golden Moon Monsters Clan, and the White Feather Monsters Clan have joined forces. They're trying to kill Qing Feng and Tian Lei in one fell swoop. The Golden WYRM Monsters Clan has also sent out all their elites to avenge the third prince. Longyu recognized the other party's identity. Moreover, when he saw so many people surrounding him, he heaved a sigh of relief. He had already made up his mind that someone would definitely attack him. If that was the case, Longyu was prepared to enter the 9 Serene Prison Tablet and use the 9 Serene Prison Tablet to block these people's attacks. During his cultivation, Longyu had vaguely sensed that there was a huge space inside the 9 Hell Monument. He should be able to enter it. Right now, Longyu was betting on whether he would encounter any danger after entering the 9 Hell Monument. As for the other party attacking the 9 Hell Monument, Longyu was not worried at all. Once the 9 Hell Monument was attacked, it would definitely explode with a tyrannical force that would destroy the void. At least for a month, no one would be able to get close to the 9 Hell Monument. In this way, Longyu would have enough time. 1 month later, the surroundings of the 9 Serenity's prison steel would return to normal. The experts of the Blood Demon Clan would have arrived a long time ago. How could they allow the 4 major demon clans to surround Longyu and his group? Therefore, what Longyu was worried about now was whether he would be safe after entering the space inside the 9 Hell Monument. Originally, he did not want to take the risk, but in the current situation, he had no choice. The strength of the other party was too strong. Longyu did not have any other way to resist them. They're here. Longyu's heart skipped a beat. Then, he found that he was surrounded by people. To be exact, it was a group of demons and not a crowd. But the meaning was the same. Now, Longyu could not be bothered with these trivial matters. Thousands of experts from the 4 great demon cultivators, most of them were experts of the Sovereign Secret Realm. At this moment, they surrounded Longyu. Every one of them was staring at Longyu like a tiger watching its prey. Mountain ghost of the human race, how dare you kill the 3rd prince of our golden flood dragon demon race? You are simply lawless and evil. Now that you have been caught by us, it's time for you to be executed. The Golden Flood Dragon Monsters Clan's head chamberlain was the first to declare Longyu's crimes. That's right. That child is indeed guilty of the most heinous crimes. He colluded with the traitors of our White Feather Monsters Clan. It seems that Tian Lei and Qing Feng have shielded the traitors and brought enormous losses to our White Feather Monsters Clan. Today, he must be punished. The White Feather Monsters Clan's clan chief said with a righteous expression. Hearing this, Longyu couldn't help but laugh out loud. I say, if you want to kill me, just do it. Why are you still boasting in such a dignified manner? Who doesn't know that all of you are doing this for your own benefit? Why do you insist on finding trouble with me? Shut up. Do you have a right to speak here? A Sovereign Realm expert from the Black Qilin race barked. My junior brother Yumoju, was he killed by you and Princess Blood Demon? It's too cruel. And they even spread false information about the Bone Race to confuse the public and cause great trouble to the Demon Race Alliance. What a heinous crime, a heinous crime. Princess Blood Demon and I killed Yumoju. Hearing this, Longyu felt that the other party's words were getting more and more ridiculous. Yumoju had stopped Longyu in the ancient River of Stars, and he had attacked the 9 Underworld's prison steel and died. Speaking of which, Red Oriole had never been to the ancient River of Stars, right? Longyu had only gotten to know Red Oriole after leaving the ancient River of Stars and arriving at the King Killer planet of the Iron Wall Galaxy. The 4 great Demon Race Alliance had come up with all kinds of reasons to kill Longyu. They didn't need to be reasonable. As long as they had a reason, they would be able to answer to the Blood Monstrous clan in the future. Therefore, Long Yu couldn't be bothered to listen to what they were saying. When the Golden Moon Monstrous clan was talking, Long Yu opened his eyes and said with a faint smile, "I have to remind the Golden Moon Monstrous clan that I was there when Kai Meng died. She died in the hands of Yumoju. It's fine if you don't believe me. What a pitiful girl. Her clansmen didn't even find out who killed her. Instead, they helped the enemy who killed her and her benefactor. TSK. I've never heard of such a thing. Only the Golden Moon Monstrous clan could do such a thing." His words infuriated the Golden Moon Monstrous clan. "Cut the crap. I'm not here to listen to your lies today." A great dominator of the Golden Moon Monstrous clan snorted coldly. "Qing Feng killed all of us in the ancient River of Stars in order to take the Black Scale Demon race's holy fruit for himself. This is a proven fact. Our Golden Moon Monstrous clan has a good relationship with the White Feather Monstrous clan. I didn't expect Qing Feng to be such a beast in human form. Even the words cruel and unscrupulous aren't enough to describe him. There's no saving you guys." Long Yu shook his head helplessly. He couldn't be bothered to argue with the Black Scale Demon clan. Although he didn't know how the Black Scale Demon clan managed to convince the Golden Moon Demon clan, it was obvious that the Black Scale Demon clan wanted to kill him. Furthermore, with the current alliance of the 4 great demon clans, the Golden Moon Demon clan alone would not be able to admit their mistakes. Right now, they were already standing against Long Yu and Red Oriole. Only by completely annihilating Long Yu and Red Oriole would they be able to eliminate any future worries. More than 1,000 powerful demonic cultivators from the Sovereign Secret Realm came from the Black Scale Beast race, White Feather Beast race, Golden Flood Dragon race, and Golden Moon Beast race. More than 1,000 of them surrounded Long Yu, and the scene was spectacular. He's just a human brat. He's not worthy of so many of us working together. I'll deal with him alone. One of the Black Scale Demon race's Sovereign Realm experts harumphed coldly. He looked at Long Yu as if he was looking at 4 people. "Hold on. There's something strange about this brat. Don't underestimate him. I don't want to lose more of my clansmen." The Black Scale Demon race's Sovereign Realm expert raised his hand. He looked around and said, "Everyone, in order to prevent this brat from playing any tricks, let's attack together. Even if we have to create spatial turbulence, we must kill this brat. We must eliminate any future troubles." "That's right. Look at how carefree he is. He must have some trump card up his sleeves. Doesn't he have a lesser world? He might be hiding some trump card in that lesser world. Furthermore, Tianlei is with him. The Blood Demon race's princess is also with him. He might really be thinking of a way to escape. That's why we can't give him any chances. We must kill him in one go." Everyone reached a consensus. They were prepared to attack together and kill Long Yu on the spot. This was exactly what Long Yu wanted to see. If there was only one person attacking, and Long Yu suddenly threw out the 9 Hell Steel, the other party might be scared off and stop attacking. If that happened, the 9 Hell Steel wouldn't explode, and Long Yu wouldn't be able to achieve his goal. However, if there were so many people attacking together, the 9 Hell Steel would explode. Come on. I've never seen 1,000 people ganging up on me. Moreover, every one of them is a demonic beast expert that's much stronger than me. Chapter 1159. It was unprecedented for 1,000 people to besiege a human junior who was only a 5-star sovereign monarch. Such a thing had never happened before in the demon race's territory. And now, Long Yu was facing such a situation. However, he was prepared for it. He could take the 9 Underworld tablet out from the 9 Underworld realm at any time and enter the 9 Underworld tablet by himself. There was a space inside the 9 Underworld tablet. Long Yu could only hope that there wouldn't be any danger inside. They're coming. Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. He saw the 1,000 demonic cultivators surrounding him. They were experts from the Sovereign Mystic realm from the 4 major demonic clans, and they were all attacking him. Emperor Dao Mystiques, God Chains, a small number of God Chains, as well as many primordial and primordial demon race martial techniques, as well as some offensive martial arts secret techniques, all of them shot towards Long Yuanchuan. Amidst the attacks of over 1,000 people, There were also quite a number of people who directly launched spirit-type energy attacks at Long Yu, as well as control-type martial skills and divine abilities. They wanted to directly control Long Yu's entire body on the spot, not giving him any chance to dodge or defend. However, just as the 1,000 demonic cultivators launched their attacks, Long Yu's figure suddenly disappeared, leaving behind a huge black stone tablet. Let's go. Long Yu's timing was perfect. The 1,000 demonic cultivators had launched their attacks, and it was impossible for all of them to cancel their attacks at the same time. If they were any later, Long Yu would have been controlled by countless controlling techniques. Even if he had the worldly purity body, he wouldn't be able to resist the controlling techniques of so many people. The 9 underworld steel appeared in the void with an eerie aura. Then, Long Yu used the trace of aura that he had comprehended from the 9 underworld steel to leap into the space inside the 9 underworld steel. What? The thousands of demonic cultivators surrounding Long Yu were immediately taken aback. Many of them subconsciously withdrew their attacks. After all, it was too suspicious for Long Yu to suddenly turn into a pitch-black stone tablet in the face of their attacks. However, just as Long Yu had expected, it was impossible for over 1,000 demonic cultivators to react in time and immediately withdraw their attacks. Moreover, many of them couldn't withdraw their abilities midway. Therefore, in the next moment, wave after wave of attacks landed on the 9 Serene prison tablet. Almost in an instant, the power within the 9 Serene prison tablet exploded. A burst of violent 9 Nether Divine text power instantly swept out. This wave of 9 Nether Divine text was a revelation-grade 9 Nether Divine text, which was more powerful than anyone else's divine text power. It erupted in an instant and almost annihilated the entire void. Not good, retreat. The 1,000 or so Yao cultivators reacted almost at the same time. Each and every one of them used spatial divine runes to retreat. Each of them could feel the violent power that erupted from the 9 Hell Tablet. If they didn't retreat, all of them would probably be buried here. Unfortunately, when they first arrived, they had already set up a layer of spatial barrier in the outermost layer of the void. It was originally used to prevent Long Yu from escaping, but now it had become an obstacle for them to retreat. Although the spatial barrier was removed in an instant, it still obstructed the footsteps of many demonic cultivators. Even if it was only for a moment, it was enough to prevent them from escaping from the space where the 9 Nether Divine text had erupted. One after another, the Sovereign Secret Realm demonic cultivators used spatial divine runes to teleport themselves far away. When they were at least 10,000 miles away, they could finally heave a sigh of relief. But when they roughly counted the number of people, they discovered a terrifying fact. In this terrifying explosion, there were actually nearly 200 people who didn't have time to escape and were swept into the ghastly and terrifying vortex of divine characters. In practically an instant, not even their bones were left. The remaining 800 people looked at the terrifying whirlpool of 9 Nether Divine text in the center of the battlefield. It was a tyrannical power that nearly destroyed the space around it. It wasn't any weaker than the spatial turbulence caused by the self-destruction of Sovereign Realm Expert. The pitch-black whirlpool of divine text occupied a radius of 10,000 miles. No one was able to get close to it. The entire space had turned into a dead zone. How many people are left in our Golden Flood Dragon demonic race? Amidst the chaos, the Golden Flood Dragon demonic race's chief steward immediately gathered the remaining experts of the Golden Flood Dragon demonic race. Then, he discovered that they originally had 7 sovereigns and 36 higher sovereigns. But now, there were only 5 sovereigns and 29 higher sovereigns left. In other words, in this storm, a total of 2 sovereigns and 7 higher sovereigns had died in the divine text whirlpool. The losses were extremely heavy. Originally, the Golden Flood Dragon demonic race's Great Elder was still missing. Moreover, 3 middle sovereigns and 7 lower sovereigns had been killed by Long Yu. Now, with this wave of attacks, the entire Golden Flood Dragon demonic race's peak strength had been reduced by a fifth. Regardless of how the situation developed afterwards, The overall strength of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan was instantly weakened by a large amount. In addition, the three great rulers, including the Great Elder, had been killed. This was an extremely heavy blow to any monstrous clan. Damn it, the Golden Flood Dragon demonic race's chief steward didn't expect such a situation. Previously, he felt that it wasn't appropriate to attack that human brat. However, he didn't think too much about it. He didn't expect that the brat would be able to create such a terrifying scene. People of the White Feather Monstrous race, gather here. The White Feather Monstrous race's patriarch stood together with General Yun Lioi, who was guarding the defensive barrier. Then, they began to gather the remaining members of the White Feather Monstrous race. In the end, they discovered that the White Feather Monstrous race's losses were the greatest. This was because they originally had the most people. They had over 600 of them. At this moment, over 100 of them had died. Most of them were middle sovereigns and lower sovereigns. There were even 2 great sovereigns and 7 or 8 higher sovereigns. Overall, their losses were much heavier than the Golden Flood Dragon demonic races. In addition, the Blackscale Monstrous race and the Golden Moon Monstrous race had also gathered in different directions. They discovered that starting from the great sovereigns to the higher sovereigns, middle sovereigns, and lower sovereigns had all died in the divine text whirlpool. The 4 great demonic races had suffered extremely heavy losses. Originally, they had over 1,000 people. Now, only 800 were left. Over 200 of them had died in the explosion of the 9 Underworld Prison Tablets' power. The Blackscale Monstrous race had already lost Absolute Imperial Devil and the others to the 9 Underworld Prison Tablets' power at the Ancient Remnant. Now, their overall losses were 100 times worse than when Absolute Imperial Devil had died. One had to know that all of them who had died were experts of the ruler's secret realm. Such a heavy loss caused the surviving 800 people to hate Long Yu to the bone. However, when they saw the explosion of the 9 Underworld Prison Tablet from afar, they all heaved a sigh of relief. Although they didn't know what was going on with such a large-scale explosion of divine text, they knew that the human brat and the blood monstrous race's princess were definitely dead. The pursuit should have ended here. It's a pity that our losses are too heavy. Someone sighed. It's fine. That stone tablet should be able to make up for the losses of our 4 great demonic races. It can be seen that the stone tablet is definitely an extraordinary item. When the divine text whirlpool disappears, we can go and take a look at what exactly that black stone tablet is. Some people thought of the 9 Underworld Prison Tablet and were very curious about it. Of course, they couldn't go and take a look at it now. They could only wait for the divine text whirlpool to dissipate before they could approach it. Everyone looked at the scene with lingering fear in their hearts. If they were a step slower, they would have already met the King of Hell. What exactly was that pitch-black stone tablet? How could it be so terrifying? Could it be something left behind by the legendary deities? How did that human brat get his hands on such a terrifying thing? No one could figure out. They could only wait for the divine text whirlpool to dissipate. Everything was within Long Yu's expectations. It would take at least a month for the divine text whirlpool to dissipate. The explosion of the 9 Underworld Prison Tablet this time was even more intense than when they faced Absolute Imperial Devil at the Ancient Remnant. Therefore, the divine text whirlpool would certainly dissipate more slowly. As for how long it would take, even Long Yu didn't know. He was only sure that when the divine text whirlpool dissipated, Shui Luo and the others of the Blood Demon clan would have arrived. What the 4 demonic cultivators didn't know was that Long Yu wasn't dead at all. In fact, he was still alive and well inside the 9 Underworld Monument, including the lightning-like and wind-like figures in Long Yu's 9 Underworld world, and Red Oriole in his own small world. None of them were affected by the divine text whirlpool. When the divine text whirlpool erupted from the 9 Underworld Prison Tablet, Long Yu directly entered the internal space of the 9 Underworld Prison Tablet based on his previous understanding of a 9 Underworld Prison Tablet. At this time, although Long Yu's condition was not very good, he was still far from death. This is the internal space of the 9 Underworld Prison Tablet. It's the first time I've seen such dense divine text power. Long Yu couldn't help but sigh. In front of him was a pitch-black ocean of 9 nether divine runes. In this ocean of 9 nether divine runes, the power of the divine runes was like seawater, and it was even more viscous than seawater. This meant that the power of the divine runes here was extremely dense, to an unimaginable degree. A drop of the divine text water here was probably comparable to the divine text power in Long Yu's body. However, Long Yu felt that he couldn't absorb the 9 nether divine text here because these 9 nether divine text were revelation level 9 nether divine text, and he hadn't comprehended revelation level 9 nether divine text. But isn't this the best place to comprehend the revelation level divine text? Jiyo Dragon Emperor must have comprehended the revelation level divine text in the 9 underworld prison tablet. Chapter 1160. In the space inside the 9 underworld monument, Long Yu felt like he was wandering in a sea of revelation level 9 underworld divine characters. His entire body was feeling the aura of revelation level 9 underworld divine characters. If it was not for the fact that I was besieged by the 4 clans, I would not have dared to enter the interior of the 9 serene prison tablet. Now, it looks like I have profited from a disaster. However, I still cannot be certain if there is any danger in the interior of the 9 serene prison tablet. I must be careful. Long Yu did not dare to move casually, as he was deeply afraid that he would encounter any danger. After all, he was actually still extremely unfamiliar with the 9 hell prison tablet. He did not know exactly what it was, nor did he know what was in the space within it other than the ocean of 9 hell divine characters. His cautious attitude was the reason why he was able to survive until now. Otherwise, he would have died a long time ago. With a cautious attitude, Long Yu carefully began to comprehend the revelation grade 9 nether divine text around him, striving to comprehend it. If he could master the revelation grade 9 nether divine text, then his overall strength would increase by at least 5 times, which was equivalent to advancing by 1 martial arts realm. If the original him could only deal with the 7-star Emperor, then once he truly grasped the revelation level 9 nether divine text, it would not be too much of a problem for him to deal with the upper and lower juggernauts. When he had killed the 10 sovereign realm experts from the Golden Flood Dragon race, he had relied on the energy accumulated by the 4 ancient palaces. It would be impossible to achieve the same result the next time. So, he had to strive to improve his strength a step further. Presently, he was surrounded by revelation-grade divine characters of the 9th hell, so it was naturally a great opportunity for him. Long Yu started to comprehend the prophet-grade 9 netherworld divine characters inside the 9 hells prison steel. With a cautious mind, he was doing quite well. Thunder, Clear Breeze, Red Oriole, and the others also let out sighs of relief after learning about the situation here. However, there was a problem in Red Oriole's small world. Girl, didn't you say that you would let me out of your small world after 3 days? Now that 3 days have passed, it should be time for this old man to leave, right? The vulgar old man, Wei Yuyin, found Red Oriole and threatened her. It's not difficult for you to leave now, but do you know what's going on outside? The corner of Red Oriole's mouth curled up. What's going on? Tell this old man. Of course, the wretched old man Wei Yuyin didn't know what was going on outside. Red Oriole only found out through Long Yu. If Red Oriole didn't say anything, Wei Yuyin wouldn't know what was going on outside. The Black Scale Monstrous Clan, the White Feather Monstrous Clan, the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan, and the Golden Moon Monstrous Clan. The 4 great monstrous clans have joined hands to hunt me down. Red Oriole narrowed her eyes and said slowly, "Let's just wait for the members of the Blood Demon clan to come. I said that I would let you out, so naturally, I will. However, this is not a good time. I'm afraid that you will cause a lot of trouble if you go out. You Emperor, White Dragon of Dragon Hell King Dragon." Wei Yin's eyes lit up, and he snorted coldly. No wonder you asked me to deal with the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's Great Elder. If I go out now, they will definitely figure out that I'm related to the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's Great Elder's death. In that case, even if I'm not their target, I won't be able to escape. I'm sorry. I didn't think that much when I asked for your help. However, this is indeed the situation now, Red Oriole said indifferently. Forget it then, little girl. As compensation, you have to provide me with some spiritual energy of the world and the power of creation. I'm really bored out of my mind. I have to do something. Wei Yuyin snorted. Sure, I can provide you with some. Also, do you know how to forge weapons or concoct pills? Red Oriole asked. You've never heard of me, Wei Yuyin? You really are ignorant and ill-informed. Why don't you go ask around in the White Cloud Galaxy and see how many unbounded warriors I've forged? Wei Yuyin's face lit up with pride. What's the matter, little girl? If you can afford the materials, I can help you forge some unbounded weapons. I guarantee you'll be satisfied. That's right. Upon hearing this, Red Oriole was pleasantly surprised. Old man, you're actually a weapon refiner? And you've forged an unbounded war weapon? Why? Is this surprising to you? Wei Yuyin wasn't pleased. It was as if he didn't know how to forge an unbounded war weapon. A little surprised, Wei Yuyin said. The main thing is that you won't be bored, will you? We found a lot of unbounded war weapon corpses in the Demon Saint tomb. Can you recast them? Red Oriole asked, her eyes narrowing. That's not a problem, Wei Yuyin said. I don't need any extra materials to recast them. I could do it right away. But I'll charge a fee. When Wei Yuyin heard that he could forge a war weapon, he was no longer in a hurry to leave. His eyes lit up. No problem, Wei Yuyin said. Do you want demon coins or something else? If it's demon coins, I have a lot of them. But if it's something else, I'm not sure. Red Oriole said, since we're in the demon folks' territory, of course we need demon coins. Wei Yuyin chuckled. All right, once you're done recasting, I'll see how it goes. Then I'll pay you according to the weapon's quality. If it's a low-grade, unbounded war weapon, Red Oriole was just about to negotiate the price when Wei Yuyin interrupted her. Don't insult my skill. Even if it's an unbounded war weapon, I can't make low-grade trash. Wei Yuyin snorted. At least mid-grade or high-grade. If I make low-grade ones, I won't have the face to give them to you. How about this? Mid-grade, unbounded war weapon for 5 million demon coins. If it's high-grade, 50 million demon coins. What do you say? All right, the price is fair. Red Oriole nodded in satisfaction. If one wanted to buy an unbounded war weapon in the demon folks' territory, even a low-grade one, it would cost at least 100 million demon coins. But since Wei Yuyin was only recasting them, he would only charge a fee. 5 million demon coins and 50 million demon coins were reasonable, and Red Oriole could accept that. Next, Red Oriole took out more than 30 damaged, unbounded war weapons from Demon Saint Thunderfire's tomb and handed them over to Wei Yuyin. In any case, she was in her own minor world, so she wasn't worried that Wei Yuyin would run away with them. She was more worried that Wei Yuyin wouldn't pay for the unbounded war weapon. Of course, given Red Oriole's status, she couldn't possibly go back on her word. Long had left all of the damaged, unbounded weapons with Red Oriole. As for the lightning fire saber, which contained Ji Tao's discarnate soul, he couldn't use it to reforge it. Otherwise, Ji Tao's discarnate soul would be destroyed. By the way, can you fix this lightning fire saber? It's not too badly damaged. If you can fix it, I'll pay you 100 million demon coins. Red Oriole took out the lightning fire saber and showed it to Wei Yuyin, but she didn't hand it over. She had a good relationship with Ji Tao, so she wanted to fix the lightning fire saber. That way, she would be able to use it, a high-grade, unbounded war weapon. Not only would it increase her fighting prowess, but she would also have a good sister. Fixing it is much harder than recasting it, Wei Yuyin said, frowning. Also, this high-grade, unbounded war weapon seems to have some sort of spirit. Is someone's soul inside? Wei Yuyin looked at the lightning fire saber and frowned. That's right. There's a girl's discarnate soul inside. If you can't do it, I won't force it. Red Oriole snorted coldly. How could I? Wei Yuyin, not be able to fix a war weapon? Although, it's going to be very difficult. If you asked anyone else, they probably wouldn't be able to do it. Only I can do it. Wei Yuyin snorted coldly, looking very pleased with herself. In that case, why don't you recast some unbounded war weapons for me first? I'll see how they turn out, and then I'll decide whether or not I want you to fix the lightning firing saber. Red Oriole narrowed her eyes. Just you wait. There are 38 damaged, unbounded war weapons in total, and I can only recast 2 a day to make a new one. In a month's time, you'll see 19 new unbounded war weapons, all of them mid-grade at the very least. Wei Yuyin's eyes shone brightly. Truth be told, I've never seen so many unbounded war weapons in one place, even if they're all damaged. It seems I'll be able to hone my weapon forging skills. If I can make some progress, I'll definitely be able to make a supreme-grade unbounded war weapon. Although low-grade, mid-grade, and high-grade unbounded war weapons were very powerful, they couldn't compare to supreme-grade unbounded war weapons or even supreme-grade unbounded war weapons. Wei Yuyin's weapon forging skills weren't bad, and he made quite a few high-grade unbounded war weapons. However, he hadn't been able to make a single supreme-grade unbounded war weapon. Now that he had so many damaged unbounded war weapons to recast, he might actually be able to make a breakthrough. All right, Red Oriole said, giggling. If you have supreme-grade unbounded war weapon, I can use it myself. I'll pay 1 billion demon coins for it. Red Oriole giggled. She wasn't really looking forward to that. After all, it was extremely difficult to craft a transcendent endless-grade battle weapon. Even the most skilled weaponsmiths of the Blood Demon clan might not be able to do it. Even the best weapon refiners in the Blood Demon clan could only make 2 or 3 supreme-grade unbounded war weapons in their lifetime. Furthermore, they were difficult to get along with. That was why Red Oriole was willing to pay Wei Yuyin to try it out. If Wei Yuyin really did have the level of weapon forging skills he claimed to have, then Red Oriole would be in for a treat. Little brother dragon, Red Oriole said, I'll have that wretched old man recast the war weapon. When the time comes, you can have half of it. Don't you have a lot of friends in the minor world? They'll all need unbounded war weapons, right? They'll be of great help to you. Chapter 1161. When Long Yu heard about Red Oriole, he was surprised. He didn't expect the wretched old man to know how to refine battle weapons, which saved him a lot of trouble. Yeah, I only need 1/3. After all, you're the one who paid for him to reforge the battle weapons. Long Yu said modestly, half is half. I don't need so many battle weapons anyway. I'll sell them for money. If they're useful to our people, of course we'll give them to them. Red Oriole insisted. All right then. Long Yu didn't have any objections. He had many friends in the 9 Serenities realm, and if he gave them all unbounded battle weapons, their combat prowess would increase by leaps and bounds, and they would become his right-hand men. That was especially true for Shu Chan, Shi Yangwu, and Wind and Rain Xian. With just a slight increase in their cultivation, they would be able to catch up to Long Yu. With the help of unbounded battle weapons, their combat prowess would definitely surpass cultivators of the same level. Most importantly, they needed battle weapons that were suitable for them. Otherwise, the increase in their combat prowess would be limited. We'll distribute the battle weapons once he's done reforging them. I still need to recuperate. My fleshly body is fine, but it'll take a long time for the innate mystique fruit in the blood realm to fully recover. After saying that to Long Yu, Red Oriole went to rest and recuperate. Long Yu didn't disturb her. After all, he had his own matters to attend to. He currently had 2 world marks on him. One was the 9 Serenities mark, which contained the 9 Serenities realm. The other was Red Oriole's blood-red pendant, which contained Red Oriole's minor world. Long Yu's body was surrounded by sticky Revelation Level 9 Nether Divine text. In such an environment, Long Yu's speed of understanding the Revelation Level 9 Nether Divine text became relatively fast. Originally, he had no way of getting started, but now he was gradually absorbing the Revelation Level 9 Nether Divine text and gradually understanding it. In about a month, Long you would be able to use the Revelation Level 9 Nether Divine text. In any case, the vortex created by the explosion of the 9 Hell Tablet would still exist for a long time, so Long Yu was not in a hurry. He calmly comprehended the Revelation Level 9 Hell Divine characters. 3 days after the 9 Hell Steel exploded, there were a lot fewer cultivators in the void. Many people had left because they realized that it was a waste of time to wait like this. There was no need to do so. Therefore, they only left about 100 people here to take turns to keep watch, just in case something unexpected happened. However, these 100 people were bored to death. No matter how they observed, the vortex of divine characters did not change, and no one appeared from it. The goal of the 4 clans was to deal with Long Yu, Red Oriole, Thunder, Cool Breeze, and the others. But now, the 4 clans all believed that those guys had been buried in the vortex of the 9 Hell Divine characters. Therefore, the leaders of the 4 demon clans were discussing how they should explain the situation to the experts of the Blood Demon clan if they came looking for them. Originally, the Golden Dragon Demon clan had the most authority among the 4 clans. But now, after so many setbacks, the overall strength of the Golden Dragon Demon clan had declined. As a result, the Black Scale Demon clan and the Golden Moon Demon clan did not show too much respect to the Golden Dragon Demon clan. Among the 4 clans, except for the White Feather Demon clan who had been acting like a grandson, the other 3 clans had a lot of opinions about each other, including the distribution of interests and the part that they should bear when facing the Blood Demon clan, and this day had finally arrived. 3 days after the explosion of the Abyssal Steel, Shuel Luo finally arrived at Planet White Feather with his people anxiously. After the people from the White Feather Monstrous clan confirmed that Long Yu, Red Oriole, and the others were all dead, they reopened the space-time imprint teleportation formation. After all, closing the space-time imprint teleportation formation would have an enormous impact on Planet White Feather. After all, the Blood Demon clan would come sooner or later. There was no need to run away. Shuel Luo, Hong Jun, an emperor commander of an alien army, and a prince of the Blood Demon clan led more than 1,000 experts of the Blood Demon clan to Planet White Feather through the teleportation array. The leaders of the 4 clans who came to greet them were the leaders of the 4 clans. They were still united. Right now, they had to unite in order to deal with the Blood Demon clan. I heard that you are hunting my younger sister. Is that true? Shuel Luo knew that he was late. Also, since the enemy had reopened the teleportation array, he had a bad feeling. The moment he showed up, he shouted at the leader of the 4 clans. We didn't. The chief butler of the Golden Dragon Monstrous clan immediately said, I just want to avenge the 3rd prince of my clan. That's why we are hunting the human boy named Mountain Ghost. We haven't seen the princess of the Blood Demon clan. That's right, that human boy Mountain Ghost and the traitor of our White Feather Demon clan seemed to have colluded with the Heavenly Thunder clan. He was besieged by us and blew himself up. However, we haven't seen the princess of the Blood Demon clan. Seniors of the Blood Demon clan, please calm down. Let's investigate the matter first, the leader of the White Feather Demon clan said in a deep voice. Facing the angry Shuel Luo, he was under a lot of pressure. He had long heard of Shuel Luo's terrifying achievements in the battlefield of the alien army. Is that so? My younger sister and Mountain Ghost have always been together. I heard that when the tomb of the demon Saint near Planet Demon Jade was opened, there were a lot of rumors saying that the head elder of a Golden Dragon Monstrous clan led people to besiege Mountain Ghost and my younger sister. How could Shuel Luo possibly believe the words of the other party? His complexion turned extremely ugly as he said, You said that the human Mountain Ghost was forced to self-destruct by you lot, and that means that my younger sister is probably dead as well. The 4 of you sure are bold to force my younger sister to commit suicide. This, Lord Shuel Luo, we really don't know where your younger sister is. The expressions of the elders of the Black Scale Monstrous clan changed. However, they still insisted that they didn't know where Red Oriole was. Lord Shuel Luo, here are some imprints of true spirit. You can take a look. Once you're done, you'll believe what we said. At that moment, Yin Lioi of the White Feather Demon clan stepped forward and threw some imprints of true spirit at Shui Luo. It was a method to record images. It recorded everything that happened after Long Yu escaped to planet White Feather and was intercepted by Yin Lioi. Shui Luo opened the imprints of true spirit at the same time. Many scenes appeared on the battlefield. Indeed, only Long Yu and Lei Tianlei appeared in the images. As for Red Oriole, she didn't appear. From the imprints of true spirit, it seemed that they really hadn't seen Red Oriole. They had been chasing after Long Yu and Lei Tianlei's so-called traitors of the White Feather Demon clan. However, Shui Luo couldn't be bothered to care so much. The imprints of true spirit could record the truth, but the other party didn't record everything. What's shown here is only the situation after he escaped from planet White Feather. Shui Luo played with the imprints of true spirit. Then he suddenly crushed them. His expression turned gloomy. But who could provide me with an imprint of true spirit on planet White Feather? The moment he said this, the people of the 4 great clans were immediately stumped. In reality, they definitely had the imprints of true spirit on planet White Feather. However, they couldn't show them to Shui Luo. The battle on planet White Feather clearly showed that Red Oriole was severely injured by the Golden Flood Dragon clan's Grand Elder. What? You can't take it out? Then don't blame me for being impolite. Shui Luo took a step forward, his face full of anger. Not to mention that these people had concealed Red Oriole's whereabouts from him. Even if Red Oriole didn't exist, he had already regarded Long Yu as one of his own. The other party had forced Long Yu to self-destruct. How could he tolerate it? Therefore, Shui Luo's anger exploded instantly. He raised his hand, and blood-red divine characters descended from the sky, turning into a blood-red arm. He wanted to pull out a random person from the enemy's team. As long as he pulled out a random person, Shui Luo would threaten them with death. He wasn't afraid that they wouldn't tell the truth. Even if they didn't, he could pull out a second one. If he threatened them one by one, they would eventually tell the truth. However, the other party had obviously seen through Shui Luo's plan. Seeing this, the higher-ups of the 4 great clans acted at the same time. A total of more than 40 great dominators instantly put up defensive measures and blocked the blood-red arm. Even though Shui Luo was extremely powerful, at this moment, he couldn't pull out a person from the enemy's team under the obstruction of more than 40 great dominators. Have you made up your mind to go against the Blood Demon clan? Shui Luo laughed loudly when his actions were blocked. Lord Shui Luo, don't be too arrogant. You should know that this is Chime Galaxy, planet White Feather, not your Blood Demon Galaxy. If you continue to pester us endlessly, we don't mind letting the Demon Clan Alliance intervene. We'll let all the lords see how the commander of the alien battlefield, the Emperor, bullies others. An old man of the Golden Moon Demon Clan used all his strength to block Shui Luo's blood-red arm. Instantly, he spat out a mouthful of old blood. He had withstood the greatest amount of force and was immediately affected by the backlash. Although they had blocked Shui Luo's actions, the 40 or so great dominators did not have it easy either. Although they were all great dominators, there was still a huge difference between them. For example, if Master Baiyun were here, an existence close to the demigod realm, he would probably be able to suppress the 40 or so great dominators with a wave of his hand. The reason why the 4 great clans did not dare to go against the Blood Demon clan head-on was because the peak experts of their clans were not as strong as the peak experts of the Blood Demon clan. Shui Luo was not the strongest of the Blood Demon clan, but he was able to restrain the experts of the 4 great clans by himself. It was clear how terrifying his strength was. You'd better get to the bottom of this. Who is it that is pestering us endlessly? Chapter 1162. Shui Luo's arrogant words infuriated the 4 demonic clans. At the same time, they were shocked. They did not expect that Shui Luo would make such a big fuss over a princess of the Blood Demon clan. However, the alliance of the 4 demonic clans was not a force to be trifled with. It was impossible for Shuel Luo to exterminate the 4 demonic clans. After all, the Demon Alliance would definitely intervene in such a large-scale extermination. Although it was a personal grudge, if the Blood Demon clan wanted to exterminate the 4 demonic clans at the same time, it would be a great loss to the entire Demon clan. The Demon Alliance would not allow the Blood Demon clan to do so. We have made it very clear, Lord Shuel Luo. The patriarch of the Black-Scaled Demon clan turned pale. We did not see the princess of the Blood Demon clan. Don't go too far. If you really want to force the 4 clans, I'm afraid you won't be able to go back alive today. Are you threatening me? The corner of Shuel Luo's mouth curled up. He glanced at the 4 demonic clans and retracted the bloody arm. It turned into a bloody divine character and returned to his body. Take out all the imprints of the true spirit that you used to deal with the human mountain ghost. Don't just take out the ones after we left Planet Bayou. If I don't see my sister after seeing them, I will leave, Shuel Luo said calmly. In fact, he was sure that Red Oriole and Long Yu were together. However, they refused to admit it, and he had no evidence. It was not convenient for him to attack them. Next, he would have to see how they would deal with it. Take out the imprint of the true spirit? That was impossible. Shuel Luo knew that it was impossible for them to take out the imprint of the true spirit, because the scene in the imprint of the true spirit could not be changed. Once it was taken out, the evidence would be conclusive, and they could not deny it. However, if they refused to admit it or take out the imprint of the true spirit, what would Shuel Luo do? While the main forces of the 4 demonic clans were stalled by Shuel Luo on Planet Bayou, the situation in the void 100,000 miles away from Planet Bayou was slowly changing. Look, the black vortex of the divine character seems to have shrunk a little. At this speed, it will probably disappear completely in a month. That's right, it's true. I don't know what that black stone tablet is, but a friend of mine from a young age actually died in there, Sai. What happened last time was truly terrifying. Over 200 people died in total. If it weren't for my quick reactions, I would have been annihilated by that vortex of divine characters. There's no way I would still be here talking to you. The remaining 200 or so sovereigns from the 4 great demonic beast clans stood guard near the whirlpool of divine characters. When they were bored, they would chat with each other and observe the state of the whirlpool. More than 200 people were split into 4 groups. The sovereign realm experts of the 4 demonic tribes were gathered in one group. They were standing in 4 different directions, observing the whirlpool of divine characters. These people were ordered to stay behind and keep an eye on the situation of the divine character vortex. If any major changes occurred, they were to notify the other high-level members of the clan. Therefore, when they had nothing to do, they would gather together and chat. Sometimes, the people from the 4 great races would talk to each other and discuss matters related to cultivation. A total of more than 220 people surrounded the whirlpool of 9 nether divine characters, observing the slightest change in the whirlpool of 9 nether divine characters. They had no idea that Long Yu, who was inside the 9 nether prison tablet, was still alive and happily cultivating, comprehending the revelation level 9 nether divine characters. Moreover, these 200 people did not expect that there would be another uninvited guest coming to this place. It's here, I've finally arrived. A woman hidden in the void appeared near the whirlpool of 9 underworld divine characters. She seemed to observe the surroundings for a moment before sighing. Are we still too late? A man's voice, filled with regret, came from the void, but no one could see his figure. Probably. Since that's the case, there's no need to keep these fellows who forced Long Yu to his death. Let's do it. Don't leave a single one alive. The woman's voice came out, and a black light flashed in the void. No one noticed it. There seems to be some kind of aura over there. Did you guys feel it? Among the 200 people near the whirlpool of 9 underworld divine characters, a few with stronger spiritual sense suddenly looked in the direction where the woman's voice came from, and their eyes were filled with doubt. Are your eyes playing tricks on you? What's there? The surrounding people also looked over, but none of them felt anything. They couldn't help but laugh out loud. Kid, aren't you being too sensitive? How can there be any powerful existence in this place? However, there were still people who raised their vigilance. After all, they were all experts of the sovereign secret realm. If they weren't vigilant, they wouldn't have been able to survive until now, let alone cultivate to this level. Therefore, many people in the crowd prepared themselves. If there was any danger, they would be able to react at the first moment and choose to fight or flee. It was also at this moment that a bloody light suddenly exploded in the pitch-black void. In the place where the Golden Flood Dragon race's experts were gathered, a black blade slashed across their bodies. Even though some of them had already raised their vigilance and were prepared to be ambushed, they had no way of dodging or blocking the attack. In just one move, the existence in the darkness had killed all 11 Sovereign Realm experts, slicing them in half. What's going on? The demonic cultivators in the other 3 directions were shocked. Some of them finally believed that danger was approaching, and they immediately raised their vigilance. However, it was too late. Die! A woman's cold voice sounded from the void, and in the next moment, a wave of misty, immortal chi spread out from the void like a sea of mist, enveloping the 50-plus experts of the Black Chelan race. The 50-plus Sovereign Realm experts of the Black Chelan demonic race reacted immediately. All of them executed various methods in an attempt to disperse the dense, immortal chi. However, it was to no avail. The sneak attacker's cultivation realm far surpassed theirs. In the next moment, countless invisible blades condensed in the midst of the mist, and with absolute sharpness and destructive power, the 50-plus Sovereign Secret Realm experts were killed one after another. Not a single one of them managed to escape. On the side of the Golden Moon demonic race, they encountered a situation similar to the experts of the Golden Flood Dragon race. Countless blades flashed in the darkness, and with a few slashes, more than 50 Sovereign Secret Realm experts died on the spot. Some of them tried to escape, but they discovered that the space around them had already been cut off, and they were unable to use spatial divine characters to escape. Compared to the 3 demonic cultivators, the situation at the place where the 100-plus experts of the White Feather demonic race were gathered was much more chaotic. Pitch-black blades continuously condensed in the void, and they attacked the Sovereign Secret Realm experts of the White Feather demonic race. The experts of the White Feather demonic race did not sit still and wait for death. When the other party launched the sneak attack, they sensed the other party's aura, and they immediately counterattacked. It was a pity that the other party had the advantage of sneak attacks, and before the White Feather demonic race could react, the other party had already killed half of them. The remaining half were no match for the sneak attacker. The experts of the Black Chelan race, Golden Moon demonic race, and Golden Flood Dragon race were all killed by a single person. On the side of the White Feather demonic race, there were many experts who launched a sneak attack at the same time. Although their strength was not comparable to the 3 strongest experts, they were not weak. Moreover, their movements were extremely concealed, and even after launching a sneak attack, it was difficult to detect their presence. Run! Immediately, the thought of escaping appeared in someone's mind, and they put it into action. After all, there were more than 100 experts in the White Feather demonic race, and it was impossible to kill them all in an instant. Taking advantage of the chaos, someone directly flew towards the White Feather Star. Although the spatial divine characters were blocked and could not be used, it was still possible for them to fly out. Unfortunately, could they escape? The one who escaped the furthest had already flown over 100 miles away, and he could not sense anyone's aura in his surroundings at all. Finally, an expression of relief appeared on his face. "I've finally escaped. I need to quickly report what happened here." However, just as he was thinking that, a bolt of lightning suddenly flickered in front of him. The mid-level Sovereign Realm White Feather demonic race expert's heart shuddered, and he immediately transformed into his White Feather demonic race's true form. It was a giant bird with white feathers. He activated the divine characters in his body and instantly condensed a snow-white storm to block the lightning bolt. A beautiful young woman appeared in front of the mid-level Sovereign expert, and there was a lightning mark on her forehead. It was actually Yi Ziwei. Trying to escape? It won't be that easy. At this moment, Yi Ziwei's eyes were also filled with anger. She had just seen the pitch-black 9 Nether Divine Rune Whirlpool, and Long Yu was within it. Most likely, he had already been forced to death by these people. Therefore, she would absolutely not forgive anyone. When Yi Ziwei was in the Divine Battle World, she had been taken away by Consort Yu. When Consort Yu left the 9 Nether clan to look for Long Yu, Yi Ziwei naturally followed her. Now, Yi Ziwei had stepped into the Sovereign Secret Realm and had become a low-level sovereign with the power of the Genesis Lightning Seal. It was practically a piece of cake for her to deal with a mid-level Sovereign Realm white feather demonic race expert. Since Yi Ziwei had appeared, the identity of the person who had launched a sneak attack on the experts of the 4 Great Beast clans was obvious. The woman shrouded in a mortal aura was naturally Consort Yu, the original holy maiden of the 9 Nether clan. Chapter 1163. Yi Ziwei stood in front of the mid-level sovereign and unleashed the power of the primogenitor Thunder Seal. Under the terrifying lightning, the mid-level sovereign's defenses were destroyed as easily as crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. He vaporized in an instant, leaving no trace behind. Only his endless grade battle weapon was mostly destroyed by the primogenitor Thunder Seal. His world mark remained, but his minor world was most likely destroyed as well. It should be all done. Yi Ziwei had just killed several white feather monstrous clans' monstrous cultivators. At this moment, she was panting heavily. She raised her head and looked in the direction of the vortex of 9 Nether Divine characters, recalling the days when she was with Long Yu. Her figure flickered, and she directly disappeared from where she stood and flew towards the direction of the Netherworld Divine characters vortex. By the time Yi Ziwei arrived, Consort Yu, Si Yuan Bai, and Jiao Feng were already waiting for her. The 4 of them stopped near the vortex and looked at it. This vortex of divine characters is too powerful. Even if I tried to barge in, the only thing that awaits me is death. Consort Yu, surrounded by immortal qi, had a sad look in her beautiful eyes. She looked at the vortex with a sense of loss. But maybe that kid isn't dead yet. Si Yuan Bai chuckled from the side, his robes fluttering in the wind. Long Yu is the most cunning brat I've ever seen. Even if he's going to die, it's impossible for him to die like this. I'm afraid that he might still be alive. Although the possibility isn't high, let's wait and see. This vortex will probably take a month to dissipate. Let's wait here for a month. Consort Yu nodded. Then her eyes flashed with ferocity. If any monster clan cultivators come here during this time, kill them all. I'm afraid we'll attract the Monster Clan Alliance, said Jiao Feng. Jiao Fei suddenly said from the side. This person had a rather gloomy expression and was a man of few words, but he could always think of the crux of the matter. Even if the Monster Clan Alliance comes, they won't be a match for me. They can kill humans, but I can't kill the Monster Clan. Yu Fei's lips curled. I won't stop until a demigod comes. However, human beings and demons have a contract. Demigods can only work together against outsiders and not against each other. If a demigod of the demon race intervenes, it will be a violation of the contract, and things will be even more serious. Yi pursed her lips, and her eyebrows were knitted together. She anxiously looked at the 9 Nether Divine Rune Vortex, and continuously prayed in her heart that Long Yu wouldn't die like this. When Yu Fei and the others rushed over and killed more than 200 experts of the 4 major demon clans, the experts of the 4 major demon clans were still confronting Shuai Luo on the Bayou planet. Oh no, the people guarding the vortex seem to be in trouble. I can't get in touch with any of them. Suddenly, someone from the alliance of the 4 great demon clans said this. Then, the others also tried to contact each other and found that, as expected, they could not contact any of them. They had the means of long-distance communication created by the space-time mark, but no matter what they sent, they couldn't get an answer. If there was nothing wrong, then the group of people guarding the divine character vortex would send a message every once in a while. No matter what it was, they had to say that they were fine. But all of a sudden, they lost contact with the people of the Monster Clan. Their expressions changed instantly. They all looked at Shuel Luo and the other members of the Blood Demon clan in front of them. How dare you do such a thing? You took the opportunity to ambush the rest of us. Damn it. The people of the Demon Alliance are on their way. I'd like to see how you are going to explain this to the people of the Demon Alliance. Sneak up on others? Shuel Luo was scolding them for taking out the imprint of true spirit. But now it seemed that the people guarding the vortex had all met with mishaps. Shuel Luo couldn't help but laugh. Ha! It seems that you 4 monster clans are really asking for it. I'm not interested in sneaking up on you. If I wanted to deal with you, why would I need to sneak up on you? Shuel Luo laughed. It seems that you have offended a lot of people. Cut the crap and quickly take out the imprint of true spirit of the human mountain ghost on planet Bayou. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do. Shuel Luo, what do you want to do? Don't tell me you really want to slaughter these 4 demon cultivators to the last one? At this moment, the voice of an old man with mercy intent came from the space-time mark. Then, a group of 5 people walked out of the space-time mark. Shuel Luo's face changed a little when he heard this. Everyone in the area looked in the direction of the space-time mark. The leader of the group of 5 was a bald old man. It was this bald old man who had just spoken. Behind the bald old man were 4 middle-aged men in the same attire. Each of them exuded a powerful aura that was at least at Shuel Luo's level. All 5 of them were wearing the same white robes. The robes were engraved with various patterns of the monster clans, representing the various monster clans. This was the symbol of the Monster Clans Alliance. The people of the Monster Clans Alliance. Everyone was shocked. Finally, they had come. The people of the 4 Monster Clans Alliance were overjoyed. The people of the Monster Clans Alliance had arrived faster than they had expected. Moreover, they had brought along 5 super experts of Shuel Luo's level. This Shuel Luo of the Blood Demon clan would definitely not dare to be so arrogant, right? But it was a pity that what happened next disappointed them. Shuel Luo narrowed his eyes and looked at the bald old man. Old monkey, why are you here to meddle in other people's business? Didn't you stop my sister when she was being hunted? Cut the crap. I just want to find my sister. If she dies, I won't let any of these guys off. Old monkey. This form of address shocked everyone present. How dare you be so rude to Master Hozun? A middle-aged man with thick eyebrows behind the bald old man shouted at Shuel Luo. It doesn't matter. The bald old man chuckled and raised his hand to stop the people behind him from cursing. He then said to Shuel Luo, "Don't worry, Shuel Luo. Today, we are here to uphold justice. You won't be disappointed. Old monkey, let's see how you're going to uphold justice." Shuel Luo snorted and smiled mockingly. The people of the 4 demon clans were speechless when they heard that Shuel Luo was still so arrogant. At the same time, they were a little scared. After all, the Blood Demon clan was one of the few powerful clans in the Demon clan's territory that could occupy an entire galaxy. If they really got angry, even the Demon Clan Alliance might not be able to suppress them. Just by looking at how Shuel Luo addressed the expert of the Demon Clan Alliance as Old Monkey and how the bald old man was not angry, it was clear what kind of status the Blood Demon clan had in the Demon clan's territory. First, hand over the imprint of the true spirit from the battle on planet Bayou. Master Hozun, the bald old man in a white robe embroidered with all kinds of demonic beast patterns, who is also known as Old Monkey, raised his head and looked in the direction of the 4 demonic cultivators as he said to them. The Demon Clan Alliance had always been an organization that mediated the disputes between the various demon clans in the Demon Clan's territory. Therefore, fairness was expected. Because of this, Shuel Luo did not make things difficult for them and let them do as they pleased. After hearing Master Hozun's words, the people of the 4 demon clans were all confused. Were they really going to hand over the imprint of the true spirit? If they handed it over, they would be able to witness the scene of their Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan's great elder seriously injuring Red Oriole. All right, hand it over. The seniors of the Demon Clan Alliance are here. They won't give Shuel Luo a chance to attack us. The people of the Black Scale Monstrous clan had not participated in the fight against Red Oriole. Therefore, they were at ease. They knew that Xue Luo would not let the matter rest if they did not hand over the imprint of the true spirit. The clan chief of the White Feather Monstrous clan was filled with regret. If he had known that the people of the Demon Clan Alliance would come, he would have just handed it over. However, it was only because the people of the Demon Clan Alliance were here that he dared to hand it over. Otherwise, Xue Luo would most likely attack them the moment he handed it over. Now that Master Hozun was here, it was impossible for Xue Luo to attack them. Even if he was guilty, it was not Xue Luo's turn to do it. The Golden Moon Monstrous clan also did not have any relationship with Red Oriole. Thus, they also persuaded the head stewards of the White Feather Monstrous clan and the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan to hand over the imprint of the true spirit. Seeing that there was no other way, the two clans could only take out the imprint of the true spirit and hand it over to Master Hozun of the Demon Clan Alliance. The bald old man, Master Hozun, received the imprint of the true spirit and activated it. The scene of the battle between Long Yu, Red Oriole, and the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan and the others was displayed. Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan. Xue Luo's eyes immediately burned with anger when he saw the imprint of the true spirit. The Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan's great elder had brought people to attack Long Yu and Red Oriole. The imprint of the true spirit also recorded Red Oriole's appearance, including the scene of the battle between Red Oriole and the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan's great elder. The head steward of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan was extremely nervous when he saw Xue Luo's eyes burning with anger. The great elder had most likely died together with the human brat and Princess Blood Yao. He could only hope that Xue Luo would not vent his anger on the other Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan. Although we are the cause of the matter, the Dragon Monstrous clan's imprint of the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan was the result. Chapter 1164. Xue Luo and the others continued to read. The true spirit imprints recorded all of Long Yu's battles on Planet Bayou, as well as the scenes of Red Oriole. When they saw that Long Yu had killed 3 mid-level sovereigns and 7 low-level sovereigns of the Golden Flood Dragon clan, they were all shocked. Even the Black Scale Demon clan and the Golden Moon Demon clan, who didn't know about this, were shocked on the spot. This kid had just stepped into the level of 5-star Emperor, right? Yet, he was able to defeat 3 mid-level sovereigns and 7 low-level sovereigns. This was unbelievable. Everyone present, including Grandmaster Hozun and the other 5 Demon Race Alliance's super experts, were stunned by Long Yu's battle prowess. No one had expected that Long Yu could kill 10 sovereigns at the same time with the cultivation of a 5-star sovereign. It would be great if such a genius appeared in our demon race. What a pity! What a pity! Grandmaster Hozun narrowed his eyes and thought to himself. In the next moment, the scene shifted to Red Oriole. Red Oriole's cultivation was only at the upper sovereign realm, yet she was able to hold her own against a great sovereign realm expert, the Golden Flood Dragon race's Grand Elder. She was extremely powerful. However, after witnessing Long Yu's terrifying battle prowess, Red Oriole's battle prowess wasn't too shocking. After all, everyone knew that Princess Blood Demon was powerful. As for Long Yu, who was also a human mountain ghost, no one had heard of him. But soon, Red Oriole was hit by the Golden Flood Dragon clan's Grand Elder's divine ability, and one of her legs exploded. This scene made Xue Luo's eyes almost pop out of their sockets, and he instantly clenched his fists tightly. Damn it, this guy. Xue Luo swept his gaze across the crowd, but he didn't see the Golden Flood Dragon clan's Grand Elder among them. Therefore, he held back his anger and decided to continue watching. He would decide what to do after seeing all the spiritual imprints. Soon, Hong Ying ordered the 12 blood-colored guards to protect Long Yu. As for herself, she continued to fight against the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous clan's Grand Elder with her seriously injured body. Even Xue Luo and Hong Jun, their younger sister, Red Oriole, had actually chosen to protect Longyu in such a dangerous situation. Did this mean something? No matter what, they could only continue watching. No matter what, they had to figure out what had happened at that time. Then, Longyu took out the 9 Underworlds monument and stunned the Golden Flood Dragon Clan's Grand Elder. Red Oriole took the opportunity to put the Grand Elder into her little world. Seeing this, Shuel Luo and Hong Jun heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like Longyu and Red Oriole were safe now. It was impossible for the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan to put Longyu and Red Oriole in danger. Thus, sure enough, Shuel Luo, Hong Jun, and the others continued watching and discovered that Red Oriole had quickly returned to her little world. Likely, she had gone to take care of the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan's Grand Elder. As for Longyu, he had taken her little world imprint and fled toward the space-time imprint's teleportation formation. Then, the gate of the space-time imprint's teleportation formation abruptly closed, preventing them from leaving. The White Feather Monsters clan, Shuel Luo, Hong Jun, and the others from the Blood Monsters clan immediately realized the reason. It was most definitely the White Feather Monsters clan's clan chief and the others who had ordered the gate of the space-time imprint's teleportation formation to be closed. Without a doubt, it meant that the White Feather Monsters clan and the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan were on the same side. With that, Longyu and Red Oriole could be said to be turtles in a jar. However, what happened next was beyond everyone's expectations. Longyu turned into nothingness and completely disappeared from everyone's sight. Then, the images of the imprint of True Spirit came to an end. What happened next was what happened outside Planet Bayou. Longyu and Tian Lei appeared outside the protective barrier of Planet Bayou and were intercepted by Yun Lioi. Then, thousands of experts from the 4 great beast clans surrounded Longyu and forced him to his death. This caused the power of the 9 Underworlds monument to explode and form a whirlpool of 9 Underworlds divine characters. That monument should be the thing that Juyo Dragon Emperor left for him in the 9 Underworlds. Shuel Luo and Hong Jun knew Long used true identity, so they could naturally guess it. However, the others present, including Great Master Ho Zun of the Demon Clan Alliance, did not know what the monument was. However, in this matter, the monument was not the main point. The main point was the current situation of Longyu and Red Oriole. Shuel Luo, now that you've seen it, how do you feel? Great Master Ho Zun said with a smile. I've seen it. These guys really lied to me. They said they had never seen my sister. Obviously, they wanted to kill her too. In that case, I can't forgive them. My sister's life must be repaid with blood. These guys must pay the price. Shuel Luo snorted coldly and glanced at the experts of the 4 beast clans. Wait, don't be impulsive. Great Master Ho Zun smiled and said, I'm afraid your sister and the human boy are not dead yet. I don't think the human boy died willingly. So, why don't we go to Planet Bayou and have a look around the whirlpool of divine characters? What do you think? Great Master Ho Zun, the whirlpool of divine characters will dissipate in about a month. We can wait for a month and see the situation. The patriarch of the Black Scale Demon Clan reminded him. In this way, the Black Scale Demon Clan could use this month to make good preparations. Even if they were to fight with the Blood Demon Clan, they would not be completely defeated. I think so too. However, during this month, the leaders of the 4 demon clans cannot leave. You must stay here and observe the situation with us. When we are sure whether the human mountain ghost and the princess of the Blood Demon Clan are dead or alive, we will decide how to deal with this matter. What do you think? Great Master Ho Zun nodded and said, I don't think so. Shuel Luo snorted coldly and said, If my sister is dead, won't these guys live for another month in vain? I don't agree. What if the princess is not dead? Great Master Ho Zun smiled and said, If you kill these people in advance, won't they die unjustly? What unjustly? Shuel Luo laughed wildly and said, They took the initiative to find trouble with my sister and even seriously injured her. In the end, they were forced to a dead end. Shouldn't they be taught a lesson? In any case, let's go to Planet Bayou and have a look. We left more than 200 people nearby, but we can't contact any of them. I'm afraid something has happened to them. In this battle, the clan chief of the Golden Moon Monsters clan could be said to have suffered the least losses. Furthermore, he didn't obtain any benefits. If the 50 or so people guarding the divine character whirlpool all met with an accident, the losses would be too great. Thus, right now, they really wanted to go and see what exactly was going on. All right, let's go and have a look first. Shueluo, come with us. Don't act rashly for the time being. Great Master Hozun said, and at the same time, he secretly said to Shueluo, Boy, don't be impulsive. It is very likely that your sister is still alive. Humph. Shueluo snorted and agreed with Great Master Hozun. Firstly, Shueluo naturally did not want anything to happen to Red Oriole. Therefore, he hoped that Red Oriole was still alive. Secondly, even if he wanted to take action now, he could not break through Great Master Hozun's obstruction. The strength of Shueluo and Great Master Hozun of the Demon Clan Alliance were almost the same. In terms of status, Great Master Hozun was not much worse than Shueluo. However, Great Master Hozun had a good temper, and Shueluo did not want to embarrass him too much, so he did not say anything more. In short, it was indeed necessary to go to the vortex of the divine characters outside Planet Bayou to have a look. He said that the people who stayed near the vortex of the divine characters can't be contacted. It would be better if they were all dead. Shueluo laughed, and then followed Great Master Hozun to fly away from Planet Bayou. The 4 demon cultivators were furious when they heard this. However, when they thought that the strength of their clan was not as good as that of the Blood Demon clan, where Shueluo was from, they could only swallow their anger. A group of more than 1,000 people, led by Great Master Hozun and the other 4 demon cultivators of the Demon Clan Alliance, rushed out of Planet Bayou to the place where the divine characters of the 9 Serenities prison had exploded. Without any obstacles, the distance of 100,000 miles could be covered very quickly. After only half an hour, they were already close to the vortex of the divine characters. When they arrived here, they indeed felt the smell of blood permeating the void. It was as if they had just experienced a battle, or rather, a massacre. Where are they? The 4 demon cultivators were all surprised. The more than 200 people they had left here were all gone. Judging from the smell of blood in the air, it seemed that they had all been killed. Or was it led to another place by someone else? But if they had been led away, it was impossible for all the 200 people to follow them, right? Someone is hiding nearby. When Great Master Hozun arrived, his face suddenly became gloomy. With his cultivation, he could sense that someone was hiding nearby, but he could not tell where exactly the person was, which gave him a bad feeling. It must be noted that, with Great Master Hozun's cultivation, few people in this world could escape his perception except for the experts at the peak of the demigod realm. TSK. I'm afraid that the more than 200 people you left here are all dead. As a member of the Blood Demon clan, I can smell the smell of blood in the air. It's so intense. A massacre must have taken place here. Shueluo clicked his tongue. He sensed the smell around and, of course, sensed that someone was hiding here. However, he was not nervous. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Chapter 1165. In a void near the whirlpool of 9 Serenities characters, Consort Yu is hiding alone. As for Si Yuanbai, Diaofeng, Yi Ziwei, and the others, they were all in her small world, which made it harder for them to be discovered. I didn't expect that the people of the Demon Clan Alliance would come, but they don't seem to be here because of the death of more than 200 demon cultivators. Their attention seems to be on the whirlpool around the 9 Serenities monument. Why? As long as Consort Yu was in hiding, it was impossible for them to find her. Of course, she wouldn't show up on her own. It was not until she heard Shueluo's words that she figured out some things that she hadn't thought of before. From their conversation, it seems that Long Yu met a girl in the territory of the Demon Clan, and that girl is the princess of the Blood Demon Clan. She has been with Long Yu all this time. After Concubine, you deduce these things. The hope in her heart grew a little bigger. Maybe Long Yu and the Blood Demon Clan's princess were really not dead yet. In this case, I have an ally, the Blood Demon Clan. If it is confirmed that Long Yu and the princess of the Blood Demon Clan are dead, and I can form an alliance with them, I believe they will be very happy. Consort Yu thought to herself, but she didn't show up in front of the people of the Demon Clan for the time being. After all, she was a human. If they found out that she had killed more than 200 demon cultivators of the Sovereign Secret Realm, it would be very troublesome. Therefore, she wasn't in a hurry to show up. If Long Yu and the princess were really dead, she wouldn't have to hide anymore. She would definitely come out and start a massacre. But if Long Yu was not dead, she didn't have to show up. The waiting was torturous. Shui Luo and the hundreds of people of the Blood Demon Clan, thousands of people from the 4 major demon clans, and 5 people from the Demon Clan Alliance, including Grandmaster Hozun, were all waiting near the whirlpool of 9 Serenity's characters. During this period of time, the 4 demonic clans had been sending people to search the surroundings, but they had never been able to find any news about the over 200 people they had stationed here. It was as if these 200 people had evaporated from the world and had suddenly disappeared completely. The Demon Race Alliance also attached great importance to this matter. Grandmaster Hozun asked the other 4 to search around to see if they could find any clues. The strange thing was that Grandmaster Hozun could feel someone hiding in the surroundings, but that person did not come out, and he could not find that person. This made Master Hozun and Shui Luo wonder what the other party's goal was. Could it be that he wants to snatch the Blackstone Tablet? After all, it was left behind by the Geo-Dragon Emperor. Rumor has it that the death of the Geo-Dragon Emperor is related to the gods. Could this stone tablet be the legendary item of the gods? Shui Luo couldn't help but think so. He didn't expect the real identity of the hidden person to be Consort Yu. Of course, if it were anyone else, they wouldn't have guessed it either. He could only keep guessing. Time flew by. 1 month's time was a bit long, but for Long Yu it was not long at all. The cultivation method of the Devil Dust Heart has finally been mastered to the 3rd level, but for the time being, there is no spiritual chi of heaven and earth for cultivation. It is also impossible for me to go to Hongying's small world to cultivate in such an environment with such rich 9 Serenity's divine characters. After 1 month of cultivation, Long Yu had learned a lot from the 9 Serenity's prison steel. The cultivation method of the Devil Dust Heart was secondary. The most important thing was that his understanding of the revelation level 9 Serenity's divine characters had finally reached 10%. 10% of the 9 Serenity's divine characters in his body had been transformed into revelation level 9 Serenity's divine characters. Just this change in the nature of the strength had doubled Long Yu's overall strength. If all of them were transformed, Long Yu's strength would definitely be increased by 10 times. Unfortunately, there was not enough time. Long Yu could feel that the vortex of the 9 Serenity's prison steel had basically disappeared. He had to leave the 9 Serenity's prison steel and deal with the matters outside. Now, I hope the people of the Blood Demon Clan are waiting outside. Long Yu could only think this way. If there were only the 4 major demon clans guarding the steel, he would not mind unleashing another attack. Although the other party might not succeed if they were prepared, Long Yu had plenty of ways to lure them into attacking the 9 Serenity's prison steel. Hongying, how are your injuries? Long Yu sent a message to Hongying, who was in the small world of the blood-red pendant. Of course, he was asking about the injury of her innate divine ability fruit, not her leg injury. Hongying's leg injury was healed in a few days. After taking a healing pill, her long, snow-white legs quickly recovered. They were as beautiful as before. However, her blood mirror fruit, the innate divine ability fruit, had been blown in half by the head elder of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Clan. It was not easy to recover. I've recovered about 10%. I'm afraid I still need to rest for another year before I can fully recover. Luckily, the damage was not too serious. Otherwise, I would not be able to recover for the rest of my life. Hongying felt a bit relieved. By the way, Wei Yiyin has already reforged 19 unbounded grade fighters, including a supreme, unbounded grade 1. I'll take it, big sis. As for the rest, there are 3 high-grade, unbounded grade fighters and 15 mid-grade, unbounded grade fighters. You can have them all. Hong Ying continued to speak to Long Yu. You've really reforged them? Looks like that perverted old man really is something. Long Yu was pleasantly surprised. That meant that he now had 18 unbounded grade fighters. If he gave them to Shu Chan and the others, their combat prowess would definitely rise to a whole new level. This made Long Yu think of himself. I only have the Dragon Blood Sacred Painting and the Duan Kong Sacred Spring. Both of them are high-grade, unbounded grade fighters. They seem a bit outdated. If I could repair the Dragon Bone Pagoda, I might be able to get a top-grade, unbounded grade fighter. Long Yu thought to himself. Although the Dragon Blood Sacred Painting and the Duan Kong Sacred Spring were things he often used, they weren't particularly powerful. They were only high-grade, unbounded grade fighters, and their power was limited. At the very least, they couldn't compare to the supreme, unbounded grade fighter that Wei Yuyan had just reforged. Of course, Long Yu wasn't going to fight with Hong Ying over the unbounded grade fighter. He already had close to 70,000 first-grade divine runic crystals. All he had to do was collect another 30,000, and he would be able to completely repair the Dragon Bone Pagoda into a top-grade, unbounded grade fighter. Unfortunately, Hong Ying didn't have any first-grade divine runic crystals on her. They were cultivation resources that any expert in the sovereign mystic realm could use to form. However, it would take time. Hong Ying had no use for them, so she hadn't prepared any. If she wanted to form them now, it would take her a long time. It would take her at least a year to form 30,000 first-grade divine runic crystals, and she would have to work day and night. Therefore, it was pointless to count on Hong Ying. There was no way Long Yu would let a beautiful expert like Hong Ying help him form divine runic crystals for a year. Divine runic crystals can be bought as long as you have the money. 30,000 first-grade divine runic crystals are worth 300 million demon coins at most. When I'm free, I'll find a place to buy them. Long Yu felt relieved after hearing Hong Ying's words. He hadn't thought about it before, but now, Long Yu remembered that he still had the Dragon Bone Pagoda that he could repair. Once it was repaired, his battle prowess would increase by leaps and bounds. How strong would a top-grade, unbounded grade fighter be? Long Yu was looking forward to finding out. I'll have to distribute the unbounded grade fighters after I get out of here. It's not convenient to go in and out of the Nine Hells prison steel now. With that thought, Long Yu tried to connect with the Nine Hells prison steel with his will. Not long after entering the Nine Hells prison steel, Long Yu found that he could connect with the Nine Hells prison steel with his will and sense the general situation outside. For the past month, no matter how hard Long Yu tried, he could only sense the existence of the vortex of Nine Hells divine characters. But now, when he tried to sense the outside world again, he found that the vortex had mostly dissipated. It's about time to leave. With that thought in mind, Long Yu finally got to his feet and prepared to leave the Nine Hells prison steel. After a month, Shuel Luo, Red Monarch, Grandmaster Ho Zun, and the experts of the 4 demonic races were getting impatient. Fortunately, the pitch-black vortex of divine characters was gradually fading away, giving them some hope. After a month, the black vortex of divine characters had mostly dissipated. The remaining small portion was no longer a threat to them. It's indeed a black steel. It's really creepy. I wonder what kind of existence it is. Grandmaster Ho Zun could not help but sigh when he saw the Nine Hells prison steel gradually appearing in the middle of the vortex of divine characters. Even an expert of his status had never come into contact with something like the Nine Hells prison steel. It's almost time to reveal it. If the Human Mountain Ghost and my sister are still alive, they should be coming out soon. From now on, no one is allowed to go near that steel. Otherwise, don't blame me for getting angry. At this time, Shuel Luo became extremely nervous. He stared in the direction of the Nine Hells prison steel, expecting to see Long Yu or Red Oriole coming out. The only possibility for them to survive is that the steel has an internal space and they are hiding in it. If they are still alive, they will definitely come out soon, Red Monarch said with a solemn expression. Hong Jun said with a solemn expression. Compared to Shuel Luo, Hong Jun, the Blood Demon Prince, was not as talented in martial arts, but he had a better relationship with Hong Ying. After all, they were brother and sister, and they spent most of their time together. Of course, it was not that Shuel Luo and Red Oriole were not on good terms. It was just that Shuel Luo had been fighting on the battlefield of the alien races and had not spent much time with Red Oriole. In his heart, as long as she was his sister, no one had the right to bully her. The experts of the 4 demonic races were also extremely nervous. If no one came out of the steel, they might really have to face Shuel Luo's wrath. But if Mountain Ghost and Red Oriole were still alive, did that mean that Tian Lei, Qing Feng, and the others were still alive? Then wouldn't all the effort they had put in previously be for naught? Chapter 1166. As everybody waited, they saw a figure walking out of the black monument slowly. He was wearing black clothes, with a handsome face and a pair of spirited eyes. It was exactly Long Yu. It's a human boy, Mountain Ghost. Exclamations immediately broke out in the crowd. The members of the alliance of the 4 demon cultivators were all gritting their teeth in shock. This human brat, Mountain Ghost, had used the giant black stone tablet to block their sure-kill attack. The terrifying vortex of divine runes had engulfed more than 200 of the 4 great demon clans, annihilating all of them. But he himself had actually survived. What the hell is that monument? All of them felt that they had suffered a heavy blow. They stared at Long Yu without blinking. He is indeed alive. Shuel Luo and Red Monarch, the Blood Demon Prince from the Blood Demon clan, also smiled. They knew that Red Oriole had returned to her own little world. Now that Long Yu had come out, Red Oriole would definitely be fine. They could even feel the aura of the blood-red pendant on Long Yu's chest, which was exactly the mark of Red Oriole's small world. Master Ho Zun of the Alliance of Demons was relieved, too. As a member of the Alliance of Demons, he had seen a lot of wars where clans were wiped out because of various conflicts. Even if the situation was not handled well, some clans would still be wiped out. It was only a matter of time that the Blood Demon clan was infuriated. Since the human boy was out, the princess of the Blood Demon clan must be fine. When Long Yu showed up, Consort Yu, who had been hiding in the dark, was also relieved. Long Yu was fine. Otherwise, she would have to join hands with the members of the Blood Demon clan to deal with the 4 demon clans. Since he is fine, I don't have to show up for now. However, I'm afraid this matter won't be over so easily. There's still a good show to watch. Let's wait a little longer. Yu Fei was observing in the dark. With her concealment ability, no one would be able to discover her. Unless there were 2 more Shuel Luo and Master Ho Zun who were on the same level as her, no one would be able to discover her. Consort Yu was curious about the relationship between Long Yu and the rumored Princess Blood Demon. Therefore, she wanted to see how the situation would develop. After all, she did not know much about Long Yu. It was not a bad idea to observe in secret. Long Yu walked out of the steel of 9 hells and saw the thousands of demon cultivators in the distance. Among them were Shuel Luo and Hong Jun of the Blood Demon clan. This allowed Long Yu to heave a sigh of relief. With the Blood Demon clan around, his safety would not be an issue. I can feel the mistress nearby. At this moment, Long Yu suddenly received a message from the spiritual consciousness of the Netherworld Dragonblade. He was a little surprised. Mistress? It's Consort Yu. Little Sue explained. She's here. Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. He secretly probed the surroundings with his balance control, but he could not detect the presence of Consort Yu. However, the Netherworld Dragonblade was created by Consort Yu, so there should be nothing wrong with his senses. In that case, Consort Yu should be hiding nearby. The corner of Long Yu's mouth curled up. With Shuel Luo and Consort Yu around, he did not need to worry about his own safety. Steel of 9 hells. I'll put it away first. Long Yu did not go to meet up with Shuel Luo and the others immediately. Of course, he could not point out that Consort Yu was nearby. Instead, he put the steel of 9 hells back into the Netherworld realm. What was worth Long Yu's attention was that after the explosion, the entire Steel of Nine Hells seemed to be more profound and gloomy, making people feel that it was more difficult to control. It seems that it is not appropriate to keep using the Steel of Nine Hells as a shield. Next time, if it is not necessary, I must not rely on the Steel of Nine Hells. If I do it again, who knows what the consequences will be? Long Yu thought in his heart and became vigilant. After putting the Steel of Nine Hells back into the Netherworld realm, the gloomy aura in the entire void decreased sharply, and Princess Blood Yao, Red Oriole, finally came out of her own pocket world. This time, Princess Blood Yao appeared in front of Long Yu, causing Long Yu's eyes to light up. This woman had been seriously injured before, but now, apart from the innate magic fruit in her body, she had completely recovered. Her skin was fair and rosy, making her look even more alluring. "We are still alive, Brother Long. You are amazing." Red Oriole giggled and grabbed Long Yu's hand, flying directly in the direction of Shuel Luo and the others. Long Yu did not stop them. Anyway, he could not stop them even if he wanted to. Red Oriole's martial arts realm was much higher than his. Seeing their actions, many of the demonic cultivators in the crowd, not far away, could not help but widen their eyes. This Princess Blood Yao actually had such a close relationship with that human brat, Mountain Ghost? But then again, it made sense. The two of them had experienced such a life and death struggle. It would not make sense if their relationship was not good. However, this made many of the people present feel a little unbalanced. The experts of the Blood Demon clan who had come with Shuel Luo and Hong Jun were all filled with righteous indignation. Their Princess Red Oriole was actually so close to a human. It was really infuriating. Hong Jun's eyes also lit up. It seems that the relationship between sister and brother Long has improved. Of course, her survival this time is inextricably linked to Long Yu's means. If not for Long Yu, I'm afraid we would not have been able to see her again. Shuel Luo was naturally very happy to see Red Oriole alive. In his heart, he admired Long Yu even more. Originally, when Long Yu killed the third prince of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Clan on the King Killer planet, it only showed that he was very strong among his peers. Although Shuel Luo admired him, he did not think that Long Yu was too strong. After all, they were at different levels. But now, Shuel Luo's opinion of Long Yu had completely changed. Even though Long Yu was currently only at the martial arts realm of a 5-star emperor, he had protected Red Oriole and survived the joint attack of the 4 major demon clans. Even if Shuel Luo was alone, he might not have been able to do this. Although it was because of the huge black stone tablet, Long Yu had the stone tablet. That was also his ability. Little brother, cousin, Red Oriole pulled Long Yu directly to Shuel Luo and Hong Jun. Then she said apologetically, "I've caused you trouble again. It's not your fault." Shuel Luo smiled dotingly and patted Red Oriole's head. "It's just that there are too many bad people in this world. It seems that 12 Blood Red Guards are still not enough to ensure your safety. Next time you go out, remember to bring 20 Blood Red Guards with you." "You're joking again. 20 Blood Red Guards with great sovereign realm cultivation? Won't that empty our Blood Demon clan stockpile?" Red Oriole giggled and held onto Long Yu's arm. "It's all thanks to him that I'm still alive. Moreover, I gain a lot from this trip. Overall, it's still a profit." Long Yu glanced at her, but did not break free from her arm. It seemed that the Blood Demon Princess didn't intend to tell Shuel Luo and Hong Jun about the damaged, innate mystic fruit. She probably didn't want them to worry too much. Overall, the Blood Demon Princess had definitely suffered a loss. The Blood Realm's Illusion Realm's mystic fruit was damaged. Not even an endless warrior could replace it. For Long Yu, this trip was definitely a profit. The only possible loss was that he had to use the 9 Underworld Steel to block another attack, which might leave a bad impression. Of course, there was also the risk of exposing the 9 Underworld Steel. There was nothing he could do about it. If he did not expose the 9 Underworld Steel, he would die. Between the two choices, any normal person would have made the same decision as Long Yu. Good. Can you follow us back to the Blood Demon Galaxy now?" Shuel Luo laughed heartily. looking at Long Yu with praise. He did not mind Red Oriole holding on to Long Yu's arm. If this goes on, I'm afraid even I won't be able to protect you if you continue to wander around outside. I told you to wait. Grandmaster Hozun from the Demon Clan Alliance also laughed. Since the Blood Demon Princess is fine, let's call it a day. After all, we are all demons. There's no need to make a big fuss. We could just go our separate ways in the future. That's right. We're the people of the Blood Demon Clan doing in Chi Ming Galaxy. A middle-aged man behind Grandmaster Hozun snorted. He was quite dissatisfied that Long Yu and Red Oriole had made them wait for a month. If we leave just like that, we'll leave behind a bad debt. Some things are better settled as soon as possible. Shuel Luo shook his head. A murderous look appeared in his eyes. Suddenly, he turned around and looked at the people of the Black Scale Demon Clan, the White Feather Demon Clan, the Golden Moon Demon Clan, and the Golden Serpent Demon Clan. The leaders of the four clans were startled, but they quickly recovered. They were not frightened by Shuel Luo because the people of the Demon Clan Alliance were present. Grandmaster Hozun would not allow Shuel Luo to act recklessly. We think so too. Whatever debt you have, it's better to settle it as soon as possible. The butler of the Golden Serpent Demon Clan nodded with a gloomy face. He agreed with Shuel Luo's statement. However, the debt we want to settle has nothing to do with the Blood Demon Clan. Then, the butler of the Golden Serpent Demon Clan turned his head and looked at Long Yu. This man is from the Human Clan, but he has started a massacre in the territory of the Demon Clan. He is lawless. He killed the third prince of our clan and imprisoned our great elder. The Golden Serpent Demon Clan will not let him go. Grandmaster Hozun, please preside over justice and let us take down this human brat. As soon as he said that, Long Yu squinted his eyes. It seemed that the Golden Serpent Demon Clan was not convinced yet. Long Yu was not afraid. After all, Consort Yu was nearby. Even if Grandmaster Hozun of the Demon Clan Alliance did not help him, Consort Yu would not stand by and watch. Chapter 1167. Red Oriole's words shocked the remaining 8 members of the Golden Flood Dragon race. The Grand Elder is dead? How is that possible? Even if he was sucked into the little world by the Blood Demon Princess, with the Grand Elder's abilities, even if he couldn't escape, he wouldn't die, right? Of course, the Golden Flood Dragon race didn't know that the wretched old man, Wei Yuyin, was in Red Oriole's little world after the previous losses. The Golden Flood Dragon race only had 8 members left. Among them, there were 4 great sovereigns and 4 high sovereigns. One of them was the great sovereign realm Golden Flood Dragon race's chief steward. At the start, the Golden Flood Dragon demonic race's 3 middle-level rulers and 7 lower-level rulers were killed by Long Yu's 4 symbols death prison. Their spirit and soul perished, and even their corpses were taken away by Long Yu, leaving nothing behind. Following that, the Grand Elder was sucked into Red Oriole's little world. Now, they knew that the Grand Elder was dead. Next, 1,000 demonic cultivators joined hands to attack Long Yu, triggering the 9 Hells prison tablet. More than a dozen sovereign realm demonic cultivators died. Finally, when Consort Yu arrived, she killed all the demonic cultivators guarding the area. The Golden Flood Dragon race's losses were extremely heavy. So now, there were only 8 Golden Flood Dragon race demonic cultivators left on the battlefield. The Golden Flood Dragon race's chief steward's face was ashen. He glared at Long Yu and Red Oriole and said, "Both of you will die a horrible death. You know very well who will die a horrible death." Red Oriole smiled disdainfully. Your race's third prince thought that he was invincible in the same realm and provoked Mountain Ghost. That was why he was killed by Mountain Ghost in the arena. This matter was witnessed by over 1 million people. Yet, your Grand Elder disregarded everything and tried to kill Mountain Ghost. Now he's dead. I'd like to see exactly how stupid the people of your Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan are. How many of you will die before you're willing to let this matter rest? That's right. My sister and this little brother never thought of causing trouble. It has always been your Golden Flood Dragon race looking for trouble. Now that you have suffered such heavy losses, who else can you blame? Shueluo chimed in from the side. If you continue to fight, you'll suffer even more losses. Let me give you a piece of advice. As cultivators of the sovereign secret realm, you should be able to see the bigger picture, right? In fact, the Golden Flood dragons knew that their losses this time were too great. Even if Mountain Ghost was still alive, the Flood Dragon King, they wouldn't be able to kill Mountain Ghost. But the key problem was that since things had come to this, they had no way out. If they were to go back like this, how would they face the rest of the clan? Of course, if you really want to take revenge on me, it's not like I won't give you a chance. At this time, Long Yu waved his hand and directly said to the Golden Flood Dragon Monstrous Clan's chief steward, with the senior of the Demon Race Alliance here as a witness, you shouldn't dare to act shamelessly. Listen well, if you want to find me for revenge, feel free to send your juniors. No matter who it is, I will accept their challenge. No matter who it is, let's forget about this matter. What do you think? The reason why Long Yu said this was because he had considered it carefully. The Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race's third prince was already the strongest existence in the younger generation of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race. Even if he was 5 years older, he would at most be a lower sovereign realm existence. Long Yu had just gained some insights into the 4 symbols killing prison and comprehended 10% of the 9 Nether Divine text. He wanted to test it out and see how strong he was. Long Yu's words immediately caused everyone around him to be shocked, including Red Oriole. Red Oriole didn't expect Long Yu to take the initiative to challenge her. Could it be that he had a breakthrough in his cultivation in the past month? The eyes of the princess of the Blood Demon clan rippled with extraordinary splendor. The way she looked at Long Yu was filled with a different kind of expression. However, she didn't say anything. Since Long Yu had issued the challenge, then he definitely had the confidence. Even when I was a 5-star monarch, it wasn't a problem for me to challenge a 7-star monarch. Even if I faced a lesser ruler, I had sufficient life-saving methods. I'm sure little brother Long won't be inferior to me. Red Oriole thought to herself. Her lips curved slightly. She was very confident in Long Yu. Brother, are you confident? Shueluo's expression turned serious and asked Long Yu quietly. Don't worry. As long as it isn't a middle sovereign realm expert, there shouldn't be any problem. Long Yu nodded and said with certainty. Then I'm relieved. Shueluo nodded and relaxed. He raised his head and looked at the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race's head butler. He snorted and said disdainfully, Did you hear that? Your Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race can come at me. As long as it's the younger generation, this human brother will accept the challenge. The limit for the younger generation will be 30 years old. You can send anyone below 30 years old. Shueluo had some understanding of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race. The strongest Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race cultivator below 30 years old was the second prince of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race. He was the older brother of the third prince. He was a lesser sovereign realm expert. Although the second prince's martial talent wasn't as good as the third prince's, he was still a lesser sovereign realm expert. His overall strength was much stronger than the third prince. We can just ask the second prince to come and avenge his brother. I believe the second prince won't refuse. A great sovereign of the Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race whispered to the head butler. The Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race's head butler was startled by Long Yu's provocation. His eyes flickered with uncertainty. He felt that since Long Yu dared to issue such a challenge, he must have a certain level of confidence. It's possible. However, a challenge like this requires a witness. I'll have to trouble Grandmaster Ho Zun of the Demon Race Alliance to be our witness. During the challenge, no one can help, not even in the dark. Otherwise, it will be considered a failure. Life and death will be decided by the other party. What do you think? The Golden Flood Dragon Demon Race's head butler cupped his fist respectfully towards Grandmaster Ho Zun and said to Long Yu, No problem. I won't let anyone help me. Long Yu chuckled and agreed. If the 4 ancient palaces still had power, he wouldn't even be afraid of a middle sovereign realm expert, let alone a lesser sovereign realm expert. Unfortunately, the power of the 4 ancient palaces had been exhausted. Presumably, the Golden Flood Dragon Demon race was vigilant because Long Yu borrowed the power of the 4 ancient palaces to kill 3 Middle Sovereign Realm experts and 7 Lesser Sovereign Realm experts. They thought that Long Yu was secretly relying on someone else. Is that so? You won't be able to call out anyone from your small world. The Golden Flood Dragon Demon race's head, Butler, snorted coldly. He probably thought that Long Yu had called out some expert from his small world to kill 10 sovereign realm experts of the demon race. This was a benefit to Long Yu. This represented the secret connection between the 4 symbols killing prison and the 4 ancient palaces. No one will be able to guess it. Don't worry. Rather than restricting me like this, you should think about the consequences. If you lose, you're not allowed to find trouble with me anymore. Long Yu said indifferently. With Senior Grandmaster Ho Zun as our witness, we will definitely abide by the agreement. The Golden Flood Dragon Demon race's head, Butler, said coldly. That might not be the case. Didn't you say that you wouldn't make things difficult for me when you fought the Third Prince? Now, you've chased me all the way to Chime Galaxy to kill me. Long Yu said disdainfully. His words caused the Golden Flood Dragon Demon race to choke back their words. They couldn't say a word because they couldn't refute Long Yu's words. Fortunately, they didn't feel awkward for long. Very soon, the other 3 demonic beast clans joined forces and started to make things difficult for Long Yu. The patriarch of the Black Chelan demonic race was the first to jump out. He said to Long Yu sternly, "Our Black Chelan demonic race also has a huge grudge with you. We have to take revenge. Grandmaster Ho Zun, please be our witness. My clan's expert, Demon Resistance, perished in the ancient ruins of the Star River. This child harbored the murderers, Qing Feng and Tian Lei, who were traitors of the White Feather Monster clan. He is an accomplice of my clan's enemies and must be eliminated. In fact, your Black Chelan demonic race's Umo Ju was too stupid. His cause of death was exactly the same as the people who were killed by the Whirlpool of Divine characters a month ago." Long Yu laughed. At that time, Umo Ju led his people to besiege me, Qing Feng, and the Golden Moon demonic race. Ruo Kai Ming of the Golden Moon demonic race was captured by Umo Ju. He led Umo Ju to surround me and the others. Then, Umo Ju killed Ruo Kai Ming and wanted to kill us. The situation after that was exactly the same. I took out the stone tablet, and the power of the stone tablet exploded. They were killed by their own power. These words made the faces of the Black Chelan demonic race turn pale. It was true that the Royal Demon Absolute was the strongest in their tribe, but in comparison, the clansmen who were killed by the explosion of the divine characters on the stone tablet a month ago were more important. After all, more than 50 people had died in the vortex of divine characters. Everything was caused by Long Yu. The people of the Black Chelan demonic race would never think that they were the ones who attacked Long Yu first, which led to the deaths of their own clansmen. In any case, they had to kill Long Yu, unless Humph cut the crap. We, the Black Chelan demonic race, have unanimously decided that unless you hand over the 100,000 traitors of the White Feather Monstrous race, Qing Feng and Qing Tianlei, we will challenge you to a battle. The younger generation of our race has long wanted to meet a genius from the human territory. The patriarch of the Black Chelan demonic race harumphed coldly. If that's the case, let's do it. The conditions are the same as the Golden Dragon monstrous race. No one is allowed to cause any trouble for each other after the battle is over. Long Yu narrowed his eyes. To be honest, I'm not afraid of you guys causing trouble for me. It's just that you guys are like a swarm of flies. I don't even have time to cultivate. How despicable. His words immediately enraged the people of the 4 great monstrous clans. Flies? The experts of the 4 great monstrous clans were treated as flies by this human kid? How intolerable was that? Following that, the clan leader and elders of the Golden Moon monstrous race stepped forward and declared war against Long Yu. Stop talking nonsense. If you don't hand over Qing Feng and Qing Tianlei, the Golden Moon monstrous race will challenge you to a battle too. Chapter 1168. The Golden WRM Monstrous Clan, Black Cheelan Monstrous Clan, and Golden Moon Monstrous Clan challenged Longyu in succession. In the end, only the White Feather Monstrous Clan remained. The White Feather Monstrous Clan's clan chief had no choice but to stand on the side of the four clans. Thus, since they wanted to challenge Chu Feng, the White Feather Monstrous Clan would have to dispatch someone to challenge Chu Feng too. Only then would they be considered to be on the same side. Mountain goes to the human race. As long as you hand over Qing Feng and Etian Lei, we can let bygones be bygones. What do you think? The White Feather Monstrous Clan's clan chief tried to persuade Longyu. If I don't hand them over, will your White Feather Monstrous Clan also dispatch someone to challenge me? I'll keep you company at all times. You four monstrous clans can join hands and challenge me in succession. Sure, sure. Longyu narrowed his eyes. Then, he said to Grandmaster Hozun of the Monstrous Clan Alliance, Grandmaster Hozun, since that's the case, I'll have to ask you to uphold justice for the four matches. Although I am a human, humans and monstrous clans have been allies for a long time. It would not be excessive to say that we're one family, right? Amen, rest assured. Although the Monstrous Clan Alliance only manages the internal affairs of the monstrous clans, we will not allow our fellow humans to suffer grievances in the monstrous clan's territory. You can rest assured about that. The bald old man, Grandmaster Hozun, chuckled. The four matches will be held here. This place is relatively spacious and will not affect others. Furthermore, everyone's time is very precious. It's best that we don't delay this any longer. Grandmaster Hozun, it will likely take 3 days for our clan's second prince to come here. The Golden WRM Monstrous Clan's head chamberlain immediately said anxiously. It's fine. Little brother human can rest for a day after each match. For the first 3 matches, we'll have the young geniuses of the Black Cheelan Monstrous Clan, the White Feather Monstrous Clan, and the Golden Moon Monstrous Clan fight. Grandmaster Hozun waved his hand. He had thought a pretty good idea. Regardless, Long Yu, Hong Ying, Shuai Luo, and the others, or even the members of the 4 great monstrous clans, were all nodding in agreement. There is nothing inappropriate about the order of the matches. I'm afraid this kid won't last until the 4th day. In my opinion, he'll be defeated and killed on the 1st day. Someone from the White Feather Monstrous Clan sneered. They were naturally unwilling to see Long Yu win. Before the duel even began, they had already begun to ridicule and belittle Long Yu with all their might in an attempt to put pressure on Long Yu. Unfortunately, Long Yu remained unmoved. No matter what those fellows said, he didn't listen to them at all. Long Yu's eyes narrowed, and then he glanced at the numerous demon cultivators from the Black Scale Clan, Gold Moon Clan, and White Wing Clan. After that, he suddenly said, a battle like this is meaningless. All of you want to fight me because you want my life, and I accept your challenge. If I don't get some benefits after winning, then it would truly be inexcusable. What do you think, Grandmaster Hozun? The bald old man, Grandmaster Hozun, didn't have any objections. He merely said, you can discuss it amongst yourselves. This old man will not participate in the discussion. I will only be a witness. Regardless of what you want, this old man will obtain it for you after you win. However, kid, if you lose, you will really lose your life. Are you not going to reconsider whether or not you want to accept their challenge? That will depend on whether or not they accept my conditions. If I win, you will have to hand over 12,000 first-grade divine runic crystals of any attribute. Black Scale Monstrous Clan, White Feather Monstrous Clan, Gold Moon Monstrous Clan, are you willing to accept my conditions? Long Yu looked at the 3 patriarchs of the Monstrous Clan and stated his conditions. 12,000 first-grade divine runic crystals of any attribute. This condition surprised them. It wasn't that the condition was difficult, but why did this kid want so many first-grade divine runic crystals? For the 3 patriarchs of the Monstrous Clan, taking out 12,000 first-grade divine runic crystals was extremely easy. After all, they were the patriarchs of the Monstrous Clan. However, they didn't know why Long Yu wanted them, so they were very puzzled. I can agree to 12,000 first-grade divine runic crystals as the wager. If you win, I will give them to you. However, there is a condition. The patriarch of the Black-Scaled Demon clan smirked. If you win one match, we will hand over the crystals to Grandmaster Hozun. Only after you win all 4 matches will we give you the crystals. How about it? It's not your turn to state conditions yet, right? Long Yu laughed. Even if I don't want to accept your challenge, you can't stop me. Big brother Luo, am I right? That's right. If you want to fight with little brother, then accept his request. Otherwise, I will take him away. Although Luo didn't know what Long Yu wanted the crystals for, he had to speak up for him. He coldly snorted and glanced at the patriarch of the Black-Scaled Demon clan. Then you want to take away 12,000 first-grade divine runic crystals for every match you win? The patriarch of the Black-Scaled Demon clan's expression changed. You want to use the crystals to increase your strength? So what? Long Yu chuckled. Of course, since you've raised your conditions, I can also satisfy you a little. For the first 3 battles, I don't need these divine rune crystals, but before I fight with the Golden Flood Dragon Monster Clan's second prince, I will take all of them. Sure. The patriarch of the Black-Scaled Demon clan nodded. The patriarchs of the White Feather Monsters clan and the Golden Moon Monsters clan, as well as the chief steward of the Golden Flood Dragon Monsters clan, were confused and felt that it was inappropriate. However, as Long Yu had said, he could just leave if he didn't accept the conditions. Why would he accept their challenge? In order to obtain the chance to openly kill Long Yu, the higher-ups of the 4 clans decided to compromise with Long Yu. As a matter of fact, the reason why Long Yu wanted the crystals was because he wanted to repair the ancient Dragon Bone Tower before the duel with the Golden Flood Dragon clan's second prince. With the ancient Dragon Bone Tower, he would be more confident in dealing with the Golden Flood Dragon clan's second prince, who is already a lesser sovereign realm expert. As for the Black-Scaled Demon clan, the White Feather Monsters clan, and the Golden Moon Monsters clan, the strongest among the younger generation below the age of 30, had yet to enter the Sovereign Secret Realm. After all, the amount of resources needed to enter the Sovereign Secret Realm was simply too much. Even if the entire clan gathered all their resources, without sufficient talent, it was extremely difficult for them to enter the Sovereign Secret Realm before the age of 30. In the White Feather Monsters clan, like Qing Feng, who possessed a 3rd-grade bloodline, had a chance of entering the Sovereign Secret Realm before the age of 30. But now, like Qing Feng was viewed as a traitor by them. Strictly speaking, he could no longer be considered as a member of the White Feather Monsters clan. Among the 3 clans, there were only a few young demonic cultivators below the age of 30 that were as strong as the 7-star Emperor. To Long Yu, it was a piece of cake for him to deal with them. Information about the younger generation of demonic cultivators was recorded in the Jade Slip that Luo had given to Long Yu. Therefore, Long Yu only needed a glance to understand the general situation. This was also the reason why he had the confidence to challenge the younger generation of the 3 clans. In the human and demonic beast territories, those who could enter the Sovereign Secret Realm before the age of 30 were considered elites of their clans. They were the candidates to become peak experts in the future. For example, when Long Yu was still in the Lushan clan, he had met Tian Yishuanghe of the First Tribe, Hidden Sword Tribe's expert Chang Xia's sword's disciple, Zhuo Banyan. These were the most talented youths among the top few clans in the Lushan clan. Even though the twin cranes of the First Sky Sect were famous geniuses, they only managed to step into the Sovereign Secret Realm at the age of 28 because of Long Yu. Therefore, among the Black-Scale Monsters clan, White Feather Monsters clan, and Golden Moon Monsters clan, there was no Sovereign Secret Realm expert among the younger generation. Of course, these demonic beast clans weren't weak. Even if the younger generation of their clans hadn't entered the Sovereign Secret Realm, at the level of the 7-star Emperor, they could easily crush ordinary martial cultivators of the same cultivation realm. Therefore, Long Yu would feel a little bit of pressure when dealing with them. Of course, the pressure wouldn't be too great. The Black-Scale Monsters clan's patriarch and the others were very confident in the geniuses of their clans. After all, the 2 martial arts secret techniques passed down in their clans were very powerful. On top of that, they had the endless grade battle weapon, It shouldn't be a problem for them to deal with a human brat who is 2 levels lower than them. We just need to pay attention to the brat and see if he has anyone else to help him in the battle. Earlier, when he fought against the 10 sovereign secret realm experts of the Golden Flood Dragon clan, he must have borrowed the strength of others. That brat should be from his minor world. Don't worry. With Grandmaster Ho-Zun as our witness, that brat won't dare to play any tricks. He can only fight with his own strength. How can a mere 5-star emperor be mentioned in the same breath as a genius at the pinnacle of our clan's 7-star emperor? The demonic cultivators of the Black Scale Monstrous clan and the other 2 clans were discussing among themselves. They were very confident in the geniuses of their clans. As for Long Yu, he was leisurely waiting for them to send someone to challenge him. Have you guys made up your minds? Who's going to fight today? Hurry up and come out. We still need a rest after the fight. Long Yu yawned when he saw them discussing incessantly and urged them to hurry up. Our Black Scale Monstrous clan will be the first to fight. Imperial Devil Jew's niece, Imperial Devil Water. She wants to avenge her uncle. Give her a chance. It didn't take long for someone from the Black Scale Monstrous clan to come out with a decision. They chose a woman from the 7-star emperor who looked to be in her late 20s. She had the appearance of a young girl, and she wore tight black clothes that accentuated her curvaceous figure. However, when she stepped forward, she glared at Long Yu with eyes filled with hatred. She was the niece of Imperial Devil Jew, who had died in the ancient ruins in the galaxy. Imperial Devil Water. Oh, it's a girl. Little brother Long, don't go easy on her. Chapter 1169. Long Yu didn't pay attention to Red Oriole's actions. His attention was focused on the young girl that had stepped onto the stage. Royal Devil Water. She's an outstanding figure amongst the younger generation of the Black Cheelan race. Although she's only a 7-star emperor and hasn't stepped into the Sovereign Secret Realm, it's said that she once fought against the Sovereign Realm's sovereign and even suppressed him. From the Jade Slip that Shuel Luo had given him, Long Yu obtained information about the young girl named Royal Devil Water. She was the niece of Absolute Devil Sovereign and seemed to have deep feelings for him. Mountain Ghost, come out. Royal Devil Water walked out from the group and glared at Long Yu with hatred in her eyes. My third uncle treated me like his own daughter and was extremely good to me since I was young. However, he died because of you. Today, I will take revenge for my third uncle. The third uncle she was referring to was naturally Absolute Devil Sovereign. Your third uncle came to kill me. Can't I resist? Your logic is really strange. Moreover, he died because he attacked me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to kill him. You should know that he's an expert of the Sovereign Secret Realm. Long Yu said indifferently and walked towards the center of the battlefield. Long Yu and the young girl, Royal Devil Water, arrived in the void in front of the crowd and stood facing each other. Their actions attracted the attention of thousands of cultivators. Imperial Demon Water was wearing tight black clothes, and her exquisite figure attracted many young cultivators. They had already heard of Imperial Demon Water, and they usually treated her as a goddess, wishing that they could carry her shoes and work like a cow or a horse for her. Now that they saw that Royal Devil Water was going to fight a human brat to the death, these young cultivators couldn't help but get excited. Sister Water, get rid of him. Let that human brat know the strength of our Black Cheelan race. A mere 5-star emperor dares to accept our Sister Water's challenge? He must be tired of living. Sister Water, get rid of him in 3 moves. Don't throw away the face of our Black Cheelan race. If you can get rid of this human brat, our Golden Moon demonic beast race will definitely reward you handsomely. The people of the 4 great demon clans roared one after another. Their auras were very fierce, and it seemed like they wanted to kill Long Yu with their gazes. However, Shuel Luo, Hong Jun, and Red Oriole were not worried about Long Yu. After all, this kid had inherited the Juyo Dragon Emperor's pocket world. He must have many unimaginable tricks up his sleeves, some of which even Shuel Luo could not match up to. For example, that pitch-black giant stone tablet. I wonder if this brat can bear to lay his hands on a beauty. Hong Jun said with a smile. He was very interested in this duel. Although he knew that Long Yu was powerful, he had never seen Long Yu fight against a beauty. He will. I'm sure of it. Shui Luo narrowed his eyes. Although he had spent the shortest amount of time with Long Yu, he had a clear understanding of Long Yu's personality. This was because he saw some of his own shadow in Long Yu. If Shui Luo was the one fighting, he would definitely not underestimate his opponent just because she was a woman or whatever her identity was. This was because it would be irresponsible for his own life. Red Oriole did not say anything. However, from her eyes, it could be seen that she was also very concerned about this duel between Long Yu and Long Yu. What she cared about was not whether Long Yu would win or not, but whether or not Long Yu would kill the beauty. There was no doubt that from this point, some aspects of Long Yu's personality could be seen. Everyone in the field was waiting, including Consort Yu, who was hiding in the dark. However, Consort Yu had now sensed that Master Ho Zun of the Demon Alliance and Shui Luo of the Blood Demon Clan had begun to strengthen their surveillance of the surroundings. She had to be even more careful in hiding to ensure that she would not be discovered. Looks like this Master Ho Zun is quite fair. This way, no one will be able to disrupt this duel. Consort Yu thought to herself. She still had no intention of showing herself. At the very least, she did not want to have any direct conflict with the Demon Alliance. After all, she had just killed over 200 Sovereign Realm experts of the demon race. Although she had thought that Long Yu was dead at that time, she had made the decision out of anger. However, the dead could not be resurrected. What was done. If she showed herself now, it would be easy to cause a dispute. Therefore, Consort Yu was still hiding in the dark. She had no intention of showing herself now. On the field, the beauty of the black scale race, demon resisting water, was looking at Long Yu with eyes filled with hatred. Her forehead and cheeks were covered with black patterns, making her look even more sexy. Unfortunately, no matter what she looked like, she could not make any impression on Long Yu. There was only indifference in Long Yu's eyes. He was always on guard against her. Bastard. Demon resisting water roared. Her body moved like the wind, like a black bolt of lightning. Terrifying black divine runes burst out from her hateful eyes, turning into a black tornado that swept towards Long Yu. Emperor Dao mystic ability, Black Qilin Tornado. This was a type of mystic ability that the cultivators of the black scale race had comprehended. Due to the relationship between their bloodlines, many of the innate mystic abilities they comprehended were the same. This was due to inheritance and inheritance. The Black Qilin Tornado was obviously the mystic ability that demon-resisting water had used to probe Long Yu. It was not very powerful, but when it was used by the 7-star Emperor, it was enough to crush an ordinary 5-star Emperor in a single move. Of course, this move was nothing to Long Yu. He narrowed his eyes and opened the Dragon Blood Sacred Painting. Now that he had reached the level of resonance with the Dragon Blood Sacred Painting, a high-grade, unbounded combat weapon, even though it was the lowest level of resonance, he was able to unleash a lot of its power. Dragon Blood Heavenly Shield Painting. Long Yu shouted. Immediately, a blood-red shield appeared in front of him. It floated out and blocked the Black Qilin Whirlwind, instantly blocking the destructive Black Qilin Whirlwind. Dragon Blood Heavenly Spear Painting. Long Yu then activated the Dragon Blood Sacred Painting. A blood-red spear flew out from the painting. This time, the Dragon Blood Heavenly Spear Painting exploded with 3 times the power, displaying the power of an unbounded combat weapon. The blood-red spear flew forward and instantly exploded in the tornado of Black Qilin divine runes. The blood-red and Black Qilin exploded together, forming a vortex of divine runes that sucked Long Yu and demon resisting water into it. However, a vortex of divine runes of this level was undoubtedly much weaker than the vortex of divine runes produced by the 9 Hell Steel. It was not even a threat to Long Yu, let alone demon resisting water. Although demon resisting water was a woman, she was a member of the demon race. Their fleshly body was naturally stronger than that of human cultivators. Therefore, at this moment, her petite body in black tight-fitting clothes was completely unafraid of the vortex of divine runes. Just like Long Yu, she was sucked into the vortex. Their battlefield was re-established in the middle of the vortex of divine runes. Berserker Fist Cannon. Long Yu used 3 times the power of the Dragon Blood Heavenly Spear diagram to shatter the Black Qilin Tornado. Then, he rushed into the vortex of divine runes, condensed a berserk divine rune vortex, and fiercely smashed towards the delicate body of Water Demon. "You want to fight me head-on?" Seeing this, Demon Resisting Water's sexy lips curled up slightly. She smiled disdainfully. Suddenly, her body was enveloped in black gas, and she turned into a 4-legged beast covered in black scales. She had directly transformed into her true form. This black-scaled beast roared at Long Yu, and the power of black divine runes spread out from her body, condensing into pitch-black light beams that bombarded Long Yu continuously. Each light beam was an Emperor Path magic skill. However, Long Yu had no intention of retreating. He raised his fist and, relying on his physical strength, punched at the pitch-black pillar of light. With just a single punch, the pitch-black pillar of light exploded. One after another, pitch-black light beams bombarded Long Yu. However, Long Yu punched again and again, continuously exploding the pitch-black light beams. Then, he approached Demon Resisting Water, who had transformed into her true form. Long Yu's entire body burned with Berserker Divine Runes. At this time, the Berserker Fist Cannon had once again improved. Although it had not broken through to the Great Accomplishment realm, it had strengthened Long Yu's physical body more than before. Such a tyrannical, physical body. Human Clan Boy, how is this possible? Seeing Long Yu shatter her Emperor Path magic skill with one punch after another, Demon Resisting Water's eyes were filled with shock. However, this also made her more interested in Long Yu. Forget it. Since you can survive the joint attack of the 4 clans, you must have something extraordinary about you. I've underestimated you, but soon you'll be finished. A sinister look appeared in Demon Resisting Water's eyes. Once again, pitch-black divine runes covered her body. In a corner that no one could see with the naked eye, a black and white chessboard battle weapon appeared. This battle weapon was also a high-grade, unbounded battle weapon. Furthermore, she was very stealthy when using it. Among the spectators, not many people noticed the appearance of the black and white chessboard. Die. Tribulation of life and death. Demon Resisting Water shouted. Suddenly, a beam of white light and a beam of black light shot out from the high-grade, unbounded battle weapon. In an instant, they formed 2 death scythes, one black and one white. With lightning speed, they slashed toward Long Yu. Almost as soon as Demon Resisting Water used Tribulation of Life and Death, the black and white scythes were already in front of Long Yu. If it had been anyone else, even a cultivator from the 7-star Emperor, who was at the same level as Demon Resisting Water, they might not have had the time to react and use any defensive means. However, Demon Resisting Water was facing Long Yu. From a moment Demon Resisting Water took out the black and white chessboard battle weapon, Long Yu had already sensed it through his control of equilibrium. Furthermore, he had already grasped the movement of the black and white scythes. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.